Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, how's everybody? Everybody good? Great. Let's give this a second. If you're a Substack subscriber, I consider that to be a little bit more of a professional workspace. And so this isn't live on Substack today. But if you are watching on X or elsewhere, you can share it. That would be nice so everybody else can see it. Hi, everybody. What's up, troublemaker? Sure. Sure. Hi, everybody. Hi from Weymouth. Hi, the BTL parody account. I love it. I have a real thing for all of the parody accounts and all of the like the ceiling fan accounts. I am convinced that the Matt McCabe like fake burner account is actually Matt McCabe, and when he sends me messages that he loves me, it's like I think it's real. Hi from Chattanooga. That must be Patrick Higgins. Hi from Rhode Island. Hi from Maine. Hi, Olivia. Jess, you're my spirit animal. I feel like a lot of you ladies are my spirit animal. Some of you guys too. How's everybody? Texas? Geez. Wow. Erin is here with me in the studio. She is going to be a part of this conversation. She's going to talk about a couple of things. We got her mic'd up. We're an official outlet. We're the real deal here. We obviously we do shows on Saturdays, and we've been talking about doing shows during the week, and those were most likely going to be related to talking about stories and pieces and things that I'm working on, politics at a local, state, and national level. That's what we were thinking about during the daytime shows, whether it was during the 10 to 12, 12 to 2, or whatever. But I'm feeling like we may have actually given birth to a third show, which is going to be like a show like this, where we talk a little off the cuff, and we maybe take some of the things on the Saturday show that are like this and move them over to like a Wednesday night show. I'm partial to Wednesday nights because that's when Bunny After Dark started. And so we're thinking about that. I don't know, but I feel like there is a space for a show like this. This morning, I had to come up with a name for the show because I knew I had to do something. I knew words are one thing, typing things are another, but I knew that I needed to like have an area and a time and a space to talk about some things and explain them. Let it be known, I know there are people on here that absolutely get everything I'm going to say, have got everything I've already said. This part is not for you, but like you're here for it, but like I know it's not for you. I know some people totally get it. But we're gonna do this like an investigative story. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna break it all down. So there's that. So it's for some of you as an entertainment piece. For some of you, this is going to be an educational piece. For some of you, this is going to be an opportunity for you to go mad and ham and crazy in the comment section. That's too. Did things like stop for a second? I have nothing open. I have nothing open. I was, but I'm not now. Okay. Oh man. Let's give it a second. It kind of like I did have a really great person message me and said that they're really good with this kind of stuff and offered to come in and help. Again, I don't know what we're. All right. So, this show, I'm looking to get triggered. Is this really pausing and not working and going back and forth and stuff like that? I just got a notification LTL's live. All right, so this needs to be done. This needs to be said. First and foremost, can everybody calm the F down? Can we calm down? None of this is that serious. This is not, I've written about some serious stuff over the past couple of years. There are some serious conversations that must be had. You know, a woman being charged with the murder of a cop that was her boyfriend and then like being retried and all of the corruption surrounding that. That's serious, heavy stuff. Me coming out and saying, I would like to talk shit about another person that is in this realm is not heavy. It's not meant to be heavy. It shouldn't be interpreted as that. And also, I'm allowed to have my opinion. So when I was thinking about naming this show today, I was messaging Erin this morning. I was like, what should I need a name, because I don't want it to be just Machado Show. And she's throwing some things at me. And I was like, wait a second. I was like, you must be new here. You must not know who I am. And that's okay. But we have to talk a little bit about me. Okay, this is going to be a little hard to explain, and then we are moving on. But the investigative work that I do, the digging around, the confronting politicians at places where they're not expecting to get confronted and asking them questions off the cuff where they're not expecting it, and then getting them to fumble, standing up at meetings and school committee meetings and selectmen meetings and city council meetings and speaking for a group of people who can't speak for themselves. This is everything that I was for years and years and years before. I went through a very similar situation back in 2020 when people were raking me and crapping all over me and saying my opinion sucked, and who was I to criticize elected officials that were so beloved and blah, 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 blah. The problem is I have a really weird intuition, and I can pick up on when people are being fake and rude. And then I share that with people. So this isn't new, but what you guys have seen, and I've also felt this, by the way, I had a really safe space here in Twitter world, right? And YouTube is not part of that, because this is, again, we did 3 shows. X has been a very comfortable space for me. I have had no hate. I've had nobody criticize me except like the, other side with like Kate and all those people, but that doesn't count, obviously. Like, nobody has criticized me and nobody has said anything negative. I didn't lose any followers. I've only gone on a trajectory up. I've never had anybody get mad at me. It's been a wonderful ride for the past year and a half. I've been very lucky. Did I sit back the other day and think I screwed that up? Yes. Did I wonder if it was worth it? I did. Did I decide that it was? Yes. Because I think there's value in what I'm saying. I come with receipts. Nothing I ever say is not backed up. And maybe I didn't come hard enough, and that's probably why there was some problems. So we're going to clear those things up today. But first of all, even if I didn't come with the receipts, I have absolutely every right to say or criticize LTL. This is a family, so to speak, but is it really a family? Everybody is out here working for jobs to create a path for themselves, to do work, and to earn an honest living. I think the Glera said it's an honest living. It's an honest living. Everybody's out here doing their own thing. Can you have partnerships? Can you have camaraderie? Can you have loyalty? You absolutely can. But it's absolutely crazy to think that I am going to like every single person in this arena. I don't, and I haven't. And I am allowed to say that. And you guys can interpret it how I am, which is it's good fodder and it's good things to talk about. Or you can start going crazy. You can also unfollow me. That's okay, because you're not going to like me anyway. However, people saying you don't trust my work because I complained about Brian is wild. My work stands for itself. And I think that's the difference between now and 5 years ago, is that maybe back then I hadn't proven, the things I was looking into existed. Maybe I didn't do a good enough job, but I think I have enough of a portfolio with work where I've earned my space. And I had a story, and we're going to talk about it, the Jacob Pathier story, that I have been like working on for so long, and so many like ups and downs, and Libs of TikTok finally picked up that story, and I was like, it was worth it. So I put in the fucking work, a lot of work. Some people don't, and we're going to talk about that. So I understand for some people that are a little disappointed. They thought my show was going to be more about like me talking about these stories and a little bit more formal. And maybe I did let you down. I just want to let you know that I'm new to the YouTube thing. I don't understand a lot of it. I'm trying to find my space. The other piece too, I think needs to be said, is I did radio for 2 years and nobody ever saw my face. And in a way, it made it less intimate than this is. I could look at myself on camera. I don't look at me. I'm looking at this camera to look at you. Radio is very different. I'm very isolated. While I connected with my listeners, it's not the same as YouTube. This is very intimate. You know what I mean? Like watching the glare of smoke on a cigarette is like, it's very like real, and we're here. And so I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, but I will get there. To the people who say, where do you get off and who do you think you are? Well, let me tell you where I get off and who I think I am. I'm somebody who started their YouTube channel with 20,000 views for their first show. And I don't think Kate Peter was the reason for that. I'm the person that's starting off with 10,000 views of a show, 15,000 views of a show, when some people start with none, with 50 views, 100 views, 1,000 views. Erin is like giddy and loving this because she wants me to like be like this, but I've already built this path for myself, and that's why. I also am confident in what I do. I'm confident in my work. I'm confident in myself. That seems to be a problem for some of these haters. I just want to let you know I don't mind. I'm totally fine about it. I will admit, and I'll admit it later, and I'll admit it now, the only time I even had a real hard time about all of this is somebody mentioned something about Brian's brother and some mental health issues, which I did not know about. I want to be honest and respectful to him, but at the same time, I'm going to rake you tonight, okay? Because you're going to say, okay, let's start, okay? First thing we're going to talk about, Ian of the Runkle, because it needs to be said. Runkle of the Bailey? I don't know. And so I talked about it, but we didn't get enough information. I was in court and I got a message from him, and it was, would you like to come on and talk about your jury reactions? I would love that. I screenshotted it and sent it to my mom group chat, the mom one that I have, like that I live in every day. I was like, does anybody know who this guy is? Aiden was actually working on the side of me that day. Had I just took my phone and flipped it towards him and went, who's this guy? He would have been like, go on his show. But I didn't, because we weren't supposed to chat and talk, and everybody was making sure you weren't doing any things. And so I didn't. I just looked at it and I messaged him and I said, I get an appearance fee, and it was $200 an hour. I'd be happy to come on. And he was like, you know what? Maybe I'll use that for something later at the verdict. He was nice. He was respectful. I was nice. I was respectful. Now, later, I learned about what he had and as a platform. That I'm still not saying that would have made a whole difference in a lot of respects, because again, I wasn't a YouTube creator, and this whole you come on my channel and I'll go on yours thing is not like, that's not how I viewed things. And the reason I didn't view things that way is because that's how Brian taught me. Okay. So last year I went on Brian's show for, I don't know how many times, but I went on Brian's show and I would talk about Karen Reed. And I thought, sure, this is nice. I will go on. It was probably the second show. And I remember he was reading super chats, and the super chats were a lot of money. And I'm going, is he getting all this money? What's the matter? Oh, I don't want to know. And so I was watching it. I was like, this is a lot of money, but he was donating a certain portion of them to the Karen Reed thing. And so I was like, okay. But I had some curiosity. I was like, how much is he earning on these shows? Because numbers were adding up. And I looked, and it said that he made a donation to the Karen Reed, thing that day. And I guess he did it every day after a show. And I went and looked, and whatever percentage it was, I calculated that, and I was like, wait, was I on a show where he made like $1,000 for himself? And I'm coming on here and I'm doing it for free? Crazy. I never said that to him. Did I think it? Yes. Did I tell my moms? Yes. Was I feeling kind of like, that sucks? Yes. Did I think I need a YouTube channel? No. I was just doing my reporting. Fast forward, it's almost like he knew that I'm smart enough to catch up onto this. Brian messaged me and asked me if I wanted to go and do a weekly segment on his show. And he said, I am willing to pay you for that. And I have that conversation, and there's only 2 parts of my conversation with Brian that I'm going to drop as screenshots type. But I said, Yes. He asked me how much. I told him $200 per hour. By the way, that number was based on the work that I've done for Howie Carr and for other things that I was getting paid for, and also combined with his views and how much money he was getting. And so I picked $200. I didn't get paid $200. It was less than that. But he put a contract together. I asked that there be a no compete clause in there where I could still go on other shows, because I anticipated after last year that I would get a lot of people asking to be on shows, and I didn't want to just be exclusive to Brian. And he was like, absolutely, that's fine. So we made the deal. I signed the contract. He gave me half of the money up front and said he would give me half at the conclusion. And it was fine. Now, I want to let you all know that I did that as a business decision for myself. If there was no offer for money, I would either have maybe said I would do it and not have been consistent, or I probably wouldn't have done it at all. And the reason for that is I had already begun to see behaviors in Brian that I did not want to be aligned with. I didn't like his content, and I have every right to say that. You can earn money for Karen, and you can earn money for the defense fund and also suck. Like, you can do both of those things, because people who love Karen and love Aiden will go anywhere where they can support him and do anything for them. And so just because Brian was the vessel for that does not give him a free pass to say that it's quality content. It sucked. I would watch it and I hated it. I didn't think he brought an original thought to the table. I think he regurgitated old stuff. I don't even think he speaks well when he reads, which is probably why he has AI going for him right now. Whatever. There are things that he is really, really great at. His studio is beautiful. He's great with the technology. He's great with the promotion. He understands where to and how to get the views. I'm not good at any of those things, but I'm allowed to criticize those things if I want to. And then I'm going to tell you why. So fine, we had this agreement. I fulfilled my obligation. I would say, I don't know if you want to pull up the one about him asking me not to go on other shows. So I don't know how far into our contract we were. I think maybe one show. I got a text from him out of the blue, and he essentially was asking me to, quick question, I'm sure you're going to get asked to go on other channels, but can we get a few lives in before that happens? And I was like, is someone asking me to go on a show? No one has asked. And he completely deflected from that at the bottom, by the way. He didn't say anything because, like, he first of all, he knew this was something that I already talked about in the beginning. I anticipated that. I'm not saying I thought I was going to get picked up by all these people, but I wanted to be able to go on and talk when I wanted to go on and talk. The second thing is my friend Anthony Amore. He has done professional appearances for his book deals. He goes and speaks at colleges and museums. I showed Anthony the contract, and I showed him other contracts too, because Sandpiper Films, I had a contract with them. I showed these things to Anthony, and Anthony would tell me, like, you want to ask about this and make sure you can do this. I don't know anything about that. So, okay. So I wanted to make sure I could go talk to other people if I wanted to. Like, if I'm signing with you and I'm getting paid, does that mean I can't go talk to Aiden on his show? So, but here he is already in May starting to try to gatekeep me and try to tell me that I can't, or not tell me, but he's asking me. And first of all, I didn't do that. And second of all, he knows that we talked about this. And again, this is that underlying theme of competition that I felt was very, very unhealthy. Okay. So now, as if any of you know who have ever been on a show, we all use StreamYard. And hold on, before we do that, let's go back. Shortly thereafter, Mike Crawford asked me to be on his show, Young Jerks. I think I had been on his show once or twice I keep saying the season before, the trial before. And I really like Mike. I actually like Mike's content. So there's a difference there. I really like Mike's content. I find it intellectual. I think the conversation is stimulating, and I think he asks great questions. I also think he pays attention to his guests, which I never saw with Brian. And so when Mike asked me if I would go on his show, I ran into a little issue because I essentially was getting paid by Brian, and I anticipated that Brian would get mad that I would go on Mike's show and not get paid, or I wouldn't require a fee from Mike. Okay. So just my experience with, and I'm not going to post the message, but I'm going to pull it up. I anticipated, because again, and I'm going to talk about that next. I had already experienced this competitiveness, this disdain for other creators from Brian. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want to piss him off. Not for any other reason. I was still going to get my money and I was still going to go on the shows. I just didn't want the drama. Like, I don't know. I was too busy at the time and I didn't want the drama. So when Mike asked me if I would go on the show, he said, "Are you available to go on a show on Monday or Tuesday night?" And I said, "Monday's out, but I can do Tuesday." He said, "Perfect. Looking forward to it." And then I responded, "Side note, I do have an appearance. I charge an appearance fee for these things now, but I am not going to charge you. I signed a contract with Brian LTL. I got paid a flat rate for 6 weeks. If anyone asks, can you say that I was paid a flat rate? I don't want any drama." And he was like, "Yes." And, we had a conversation back and forth about it. I said, I told him I knew that he had some legal stuff going on. I knew he was trying to raise money. So why would I ask a creator who's out there working to raise money for his legal issues, which I also believe in, and his innocence in that whole situation? I would not require, but I was very cognizant of Brian and his approach to these people. And so I just wanted to protect myself. To my knowledge, I don't believe that Mike had to lie and say I paid Jess. And if he did, I'm sorry for kind of like making that public, but I think it's important for everybody to understand that I did not ask for or want money from anybody else except Brian, because I viewed it as a business decision, a business transaction. And I looked out for myself because I didn't love the platform. I didn't love it. I also did research. I looked back and saw that on the shows that I was on with Brian, he got great views. And on shows that I wasn't on or he had no guests, he didn't get the views. And so to me, I calculated that he needed me for the views, and that was part of what I did. We can take that one down. And so there's that. And then the Ian Runkle of the Bailey, that was right around the time when this whole thing happened with Brian. I thought that I should be doing this. I didn't know who he was, kind of in the same vein. Okay. I don't want to talk about the money part of it anymore, but people like giving me a hard time about this. The other piece of that is I, at the time, was not a YouTube creator. I was not a content creator. I wasn't doing this. I definitely understand today that going on other people's shows is how you exchange your worth and your value. But at that time, I was not. I was making an appearance. If you go on a show, you get paid. That's the industry I was in. Okay. So I think people just don't understand it. I tried to explain it. At some point, people are either just going to have to get it or move on. This was not. And by the way, I was an independent journalist. I lost my job with Fall River Reporter, which we're going to talk about, because that whole situation, by the way, just so all you know, had nothing to do with me. And we have receipts on that too. But I'm trying to do this and earn a living and make sure I can pay my car insurance and my phone bill. And like, this is my job. If I can't make this work, I'm going back to work somewhere else. And so if I'm stuck going on Brian's show, or if I'm going on his show, I'm going to get paid. Okay. Now let's talk about the show. So as you know, if you're on StreamYard, you are in the back room, like you're off stage. And when I would jump on, the time behind stage before the show would start was a time for Brian and I to talk and catch up. And it was during that time that Brian would have some unsavory things to say about other content creators. He really didn't like Mike Crawford. He didn't like the glare. And he would talk or perhaps he thought he was venting to me. Brian and I are not friends. We have never shared a meal of food. We have never done anything together. We have a strictly working relationship. I have never called Brian and complained about things in my life. I have never talked to him about personal things other than casual stuff about my kids or my family, and my kid was sick or whatever. We're not friends, okay? So this is a business transaction. I'm getting paid. I've got to come to work. I've got to do a show. Did I think that I should be subjected by him to him bitching and complaining about people in the industry that I personally liked? Absolutely not. I began to resent him for it. I couldn't leave because I was contractually obligated to do these shows. I had to sit there and listen to him and his lack of masculinity bitch and complain about what other people were doing. And I didn't like that at all. But I also never said anything about it. I just kept my mouth shut. Well, I think I maybe told Erin, or I talked to my moms about it. They were removed from it. I didn't pick up the phone and call the Glairer. I didn't pick up the phone and call Mike Crawford. And I'm still not going to talk about the stuff that they said or he said about them. I'm just telling you that the environment, like if this was a job, it was a hostile work environment. And I could have gone to HR about it. I just didn't like it. By the way, he bitched and complained about other things too. When we could have been sitting there talking about like stuff, I'm dealing with him and his bullshit, and I didn't like it very much, to be honest with you. And I just wanted to. You'll notice in the beginning when he'd start the show, like when we were supposed to start the show, you'll see he goes later than the time we're supposed to start, and towards the end he gets closer and closer to the time because I stopped going in earlier because I didn't want to hear it. Okay. That's part of this whole thing. I thought it was unprofessional. And for everybody who is like coddling him and protecting him, first of all, you can, I don't care, but I'm going to call you out and say, just because you didn't see him doing it doesn't mean he wasn't doing it. Doesn't mean that he wasn't looking at what they were doing and copying them and then scheduling things around what they were doing and like trying to get people on and pay people to come on so he could compete instead of developing himself, developing his own content and his brand. He had to go and watch everybody else and then try to like one up. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, I don't know. Are people getting it, Erin? Okay, people are getting it. Okay. I don't care if you get it, but like, I hope you get it. Are you bringing over? This is the next thing. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to do my show and tell. Every time we have a show, we're going to, I can't not do it. Here's the next thing. So wait, can we get the other one? Yeah, the real one. Okay, so that was what it was like there. And I will not share all of those things. Let's just say he's just not a team player. And yeah, take my word for it. The other thing too I want to say is I think how I feel and how I felt, which is why it was so effortless and easy for me to do what I did on Saturday, is I feel like he totally took advantage of me not being in the know with all of these creators and like used me. And I got paid, so it's hard to say that he used me, but he was far more strategic with grabbing me and paying me to come on the show than I think people are getting, because the undercurrent was he had to fucking compete. I'm not kidding you when I say I have never won an award in my life, ever. And I got notified that the Mass GOP, not the Mass GOP, but like a group within the Mass GOP was holding a Lincoln Reagan dinner. Now, for those of you who still are having a hard time understanding this, I'm a conservative. I've been a Republican my whole life, and I'm also very entrenched in the Republican Party in Massachusetts. I have worked for campaigns. I love my party. I love everybody, mostly everybody in my party, and I'm very involved in that community. I respect many of the people there, and I got an award for Journalist of the Year. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a really big deal to me. First of all, honored to have even been considered. Erin and I went to this event. It was just such a really poignant moment for me. First of all, getting recognized by your peers in your work and what you do and what you work so hard for is like a big deal, okay? This award has tremendous meaning behind it. I've worked my way up from a nobody in the party all the way up to the point where people, candidates, the party itself is using my work and my research to influence voters. And that is substantial work, and it is why I do things. I always say I do these things because I want to make change. Getting this award was a big fucking deal. I'm just telling you right now. I slept with it in bed with me the night that I got it. It came in a little velvet box, like a box with I slept with it on the pillow on the side of me. I slept. I just remind me I stole things from. And the klepto enters the chat. I did steal. We'll do show and tell. We'll do a show and tell at the end. Okay. So this was a really poignant award for me. I'm very grateful for it. It won't be my last, but it's my first, and I love it. Fast forward to Brian said, I have a little thing for you. And I said, okay. And he gave me this. And it says, Appreciation Award to Jess Machado, superb reporting from LTL Media. So just so we're clear, LTL Media is just Brian. This isn't a group effort. This was just this Brian. You can imagine my surprise when I got this award from Brian, and he gave it to me. And speaking of awards, I deserved an Academy Award winning performance because I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is an empty award. This award has no value to it whatsoever. And it was perplexing to me, and I didn't understand it. But you're going to stand by. Hold on. You can do it. So, fine, whatever. Thank you for this award. But I'm very cognizant of what's going on around me. I actually wrongfully interpreted that this award was like inspired by, or he got the idea from the other award. I got a lot of people chatting about this award. I got a lot of likes on it, and like it got traction. And I thought, I'm an idiot. I thought that he saw that and he was like, oh, I'm going to do that. That's a great idea. It's par for the course with Brian, right? So fine. But, and I have looked all day, yesterday and today, I've look at this hair. I've looked all day and I cannot find it. But, and if you're watching and you were the person that sent it to me or whatever, like, please resend it to me. But can you imagine my surprise when I found out that Mike Crawford gave awards to people or something? Like he does a yearly award thing or a media thing. Like, and it's almost the same thing. And it's like, again, it's the copying, it's the unoriginality, it's the doing it for clout, doing it for likes, doing it for people to go, wow, what is such a great guy. And like, I'm all set. So Mike does give awards. Thank you. I did not know that. But somehow, some way, I found that out. And I was mortified. I was like, he fucking used me. I shared that I got this award from him. I took a picture. I was like, yay, look at me. Wait, what did Mike just say? He said he had an award show. I just saw it in the chat. I don't want to push a button, but did you see it? Young Jerk said something. If somebody can, like, then I got mad. Then I got, so Mike started it a while ago before Brian. So I got mad because, again, it's not like I don't care about everybody or the YouTube creators or the social media. It's not. I love not all of you, but I love a lot of you. I don't have time. And I was saying this to Erin, and Erin's like, I know for a fact the only time you watch anything on TV is you watch The Gilded Age and you watch football. And that is factual information. We had an awards poll decided by our audience. They voted. Okay. Can you imagine how, number one, pissed off I was that he gave me this award and made a big deal out of it? And I thought, one, it was original. And then two, like an idiot, I thought maybe he was using it because of the other award. But it's actually the third option, which is that he was fucking copying Young Jerks. And I was a part of that. And like, this is why I had to come forward and say something. What if you guys saw me getting all in on this and you knew he was kind of being a dick about it with Mike and you thought I was a part of it? And I was like, I have to clear the air about this situation for my own reputation. And that's why I'll like die on this hill with it, because I'm right. I'm so right about all of this. The Gilded Age. Erin was very excited that I called her and said, we're going live tonight. What time can you get out of work? We're going to the studio. She said this is her favorite, Jessica. Erin's going to come on and talk about something too. So this award thing happened and I'm just pissed. We're trashing others because I was a victim of Brian. That's the real thing. And I don't like being a victim and whatever, but you can, yes. It's not an airport or something. I hear that all the time. So there has been a pattern that had been developing that I was just, number one, I'm not about. Number two, as you can tell, I love creating my own stuff, finding my own stories, how I figure out my stories, how I work and cultivate them, the time and effort I put into them, the long hours. So this will bring me, so that's the award situation. Let me cross that off my list. Check. Now we're going to talk about I got a tip from a person who wanted to remain anonymous about a story about a student, Jacob Pathier. If you follow my work, he was a student at New Bedford Voc Tech and he died in a car accident. And somebody sent me a message. I worked for Fall River Reporter at the time. We wrote a story, just the basics. This student had died. He was in a car crash. There was no other information we shared. But this person saw that I worked there and that we wrote that story and inboxed me and said, I have heard a rumor that this student was having a sexual relationship with a security guard there and that she was in the car with him. It was a very short message. I had no connection to this person, but I started to dig around and within a matter of a couple of days began to uncover what I think is like one of the worst cover-ups in my area of the woods. And ultimately, the family is suing the school for a wrongful death lawsuit because they knew about the relationship. And I'm not going to get into it. When I tell you how many hours I worked on this and what I did and the things I did to learn, connect with the family at a really difficult time, I had nothing except one little Facebook message, the time and effort at my dining room table and out on the streets I put into this. And I wrote about it. And now LTL is in my arena at the time. And this is last year. And I got a text message from him. Do we have that one? We got a text message from him. I did. And he said, we need to speak soon. I have a lot of information for you about Jacob. Now, I will not lie. I got this text message and I got very upset. Number one, absolutely nobody in the world was talking about the Jacob Pathier story. Number two, I was working my ass off for it. And number three, who the fuck are you? And I said, sure thing. What have you heard? And then he said, I spoke with his aunt last night. She has a shit ton of info I want to clue you in on. I was pretty much all set with this. I can tell you what I did right after this. I picked up the phone and I called Aiden Carney, who I was moderately friendly with at the time, but I knew only of Brian and what he did with Aiden when he was away and keeping the show going. And I called Aiden and I said, what's the deal with LTL? Raging inside, but being professional and also not wanting to show like that side of me because it felt like I shouldn't have gotten upset over it. I guess you can't gatekeep stories, right? But I didn't know him well enough. So I said, like, what's the deal? And Aiden's like, he's a good guy. And I was like, okay. And I just let it go because I took the cues from Aiden that he was a good guy, that he helped him out. And I was like, okay. Did it matter to me that he kind of went and connected with the family? And I spoke with the family about it. And I certainly said, I don't even think I ever said anything like, oh, please don't talk to him. I would never do that. But I think I said to Brian, I was like, I kind of worked really hard on this. Like, I don't know. It's the same way. Like, I don't think anybody would ever go and do something with Karen Reed and like post about it, talk about it, or investigate it and not give it to Aiden. Like, that's his thing. And I'm not saying this was my Karen Reed thing, but it's in the same scope of the work and the effort that you put into it. And again, he is poaching work. He is poaching stories and content. And he wanted to take this from me. And so I had a conversation with him, not in text. I spoke with him and I asked him like not to do it. There's another example of like this lack of originality and stuff that was really kind of like uncouth, if you ask me. So there's that. We're done with that one. Yeah. And so that's the stuff that directly relates to me. I want to send Erin a video. Sorry. Let me give it to you. You want to read some comments? Or do you want to talk about your thing? So there's something happened on Saturday. No, because I need a second to gather some info. So I just, up until this point, I just want everybody to understand that this isn't a attack on, that one's good. Thanks. That was good. I like it was close up. Oh, I just want to say this wasn't like a out of the woods attack. I did you all dirty by not giving you all of this information. I'm not even concerned that it changes your mind or you think that I shouldn't have said what I said. I owe it to everybody to put it all out there so that if you care, that you understand that this is why I have an issue. And more importantly, that I want to make sure everybody understands that his behavior should not be associated with me and that working with him was this. Now, we also have to talk a little bit, and I'm going to talk about it in a second, but we're going to talk about what I said about helping me with the studio and why I felt like so weird about that. I'm going to give you that. But Erin asked me on the show on Saturday, would I ever charge anybody to come on my show? And I was like, no. And the people who don't like me and Brian's ball washers were like, how dare you? And you're so hypocritical and blah, 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 blah. Use your mic. Okay, thanks. Can people hear Erin?
Can everybody hear me?
Well, yes, you can. Go ahead. You're good.
Is it too loud? Is this okay?
You're good.
Are we echoing?
You're good.
I know, but I want to ask them. Is it echoey? Oh, hey, Fall River Raw. You got me a new car? Great. Do we get a discount since you're such a great sponsor? Okay. So Pat, listen, I'm not Jessica. I'm not good at this part of this. I don't even like her posting pictures about me. So like this, me coming on here is nothing I ever want to do. Definitely not a producer. So we can stop using that word for sure. Am I not muted? Okay, perfect. So when I asked her that, because I keep seeing, I have never read so many comments in my whole entire life. I spent, I think, all day Sunday reading every comment and every reply on every tweet, everybody's YouTube, everybody's Facebooks, and all this stuff. My question to Jessica, when I asked her that way, is, if you would ever pay somebody to come on your show. My point with that is Jessica's. So you sure I can?
Yes.
Say it? Okay. She's never going to have to pay somebody to come on.
And if you come for Erin, we're going to have a problem.
It's fine. I'm a big baby, but it'll be fine. I asked her, meaning that, like, I don't think Aiden is ever going to pay somebody to come on a show, right? I don't know the glare very well, but I don't think that Erin, am I getting paid enough? No, it's fine. I'm paid in love. This is just too much fun for me. She's just never going to have to pay somebody to come on her show. I don't think people understand the people that are asking her to come on the show. There are people that are asking her to come on the show, not even like via Zoom or like via a link. They want to be here in person. They want to sit. They want to talk with her. So that was I was trying not to be fresh because this is Jessica's show. And if you've been here for the last couple of things, you've heard me say that. That I never want to talk out loud to her about like her schedule or her topics. Did I told her, if we want to talk about it all now. If I wasn't here helping her doing this, I don't think I would have tuned in for some of the first episode or some of the second episode. It's just, there are things that I don't watch a lot of YouTube stuff, right? So I'm very picky with my time. Who's this? Okay. So anyhow, the long and short.
I'll moderate the comments. Go ahead.
Okay. Don't, because you're going to have to keep me, the Adderall's probably wearing off at this point. But I was fresh. The looks that I was giving her was a little bit fresh, and I didn't want to come on here and I didn't want to be fresh. I never want to change her vibe. I don't want to change her opinion on something she might want to talk about. I didn't want to. If we could go back to our chat, and when she sent me the checklist of that Saturday's episode, and LTL was number 2, and I said, I don't even want to know what this is about, because obviously I knew enough of it. But I said, I want to find out with the rest of the besties what this part is about. But my point to her when I was asking her behind the scenes, I was smirking and I was giggling a lot because Jessica, I don't want to keep saying it, but Jessica is not a personality that is going to have to pay somebody to come on this show. I don't want to come on here and be, a mean girl, but from what I'm hearing, Brian pays all of his people to come on his show. I don't want to say he has to buy his content, but it's almost like he has to buy his content. Oh, there is an echo. See, there is an echo. Has it been echoing the whole time? How do I fix that?
Well, I think it also too just
to mute your mic. See, I told you. Are you muted?
I don't know.
See, this is why we need help, and this is how the whole thing started. So I'll wrap it up quick so you guys can have Jessica back. But my point, being a little bit fresher behind the scenes, was that she is not going to ever have to pay somebody to come on the show. And if she was in the position to have to pay somebody to come on her show to make content, she wouldn't be doing the show. But you guys don't, whether you understand or you don't understand, or you've been here or you're new, she's been doing this a long time. She has been doing it this way for a very long time. This studio was gifted to her by somebody that wants her to keep doing it. She has sponsors that are throwing swords, I believe is what I said in the comments before. Like, somebody asked, like, how do sponsors feel about it? They are in the chats. They are sticking up for her. This is not new. The people that are local and that are sponsoring her know her, and they love her. I'm sorry. I want to be done. But that was just my point with that. I know it got taken out of context. Mr. Glairer, are you still in here? Is the Glairer still here? Can I see in the chat? But he, in his commentary of this yesterday, is he here? Wait, where are you? Are you here? Where's Mr. Glairer? But he paused it at that point in the show, and he was giggling a little bit, and it made it look like you were being a hypocrite. And that's what a lot of the comments are saying. Like, oh, you know what I mean? You wanted to be paid for going on Brian's show, but you wouldn't pay somebody to come in here when you weren't doing this. You didn't have a YouTube channel. YouTube channel was not on your thing that you know what I mean? It wasn't on your list of things that you wanted to do. We're only here because you guys wanted this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be on camera. She's good with this, but I don't want to be. I want to be here behind the scenes. I don't want to do stuff like this. But we're here because you guys wanted her to do it. I want her to do it. I keep saying this every week. Like, I'm her biggest fan. But she's never going to have to pay somebody to come on the show because she's just not going to have to do that. People want to be here. People want to talk to her. She's great at what she does. You're going to love her. You're going to hate her. But she's never going to have to buy the content. And that's kind of where I was going with that. It wasn't to point out that she was being a hypocrite. She was a journalist. She should be getting paid for her time to be doing that stuff at that time. It was a weekly thing. And how come I can only see you on the YouTube? Oh, maybe because my window is small. Okay. But anyway, that was all. So I just, to clarify, she's never going to have to pay somebody to come on here. That's all. Did I screw it all up?
No, I think that's great.
Okay. Can I be done now?
You can be done.
Thanks, guys.
I just want to say I get it that some people aren't going to like I sent you 2 things. Can you grab them? Yeah, one's a video and one's a screenshot. First of all, he is I saw a comment where someone said that Brian was the only person that would collab with me. That is not true. I collabed with Mike Crawford. I was on Aiden's show. I was on somebody else's show. I can't remember her name. But I also, just so you know, I don't consider like people collabing with me like a measurement of like my work. Do you know what I mean? Like, first of all, I want to say this, like, by being in the courtroom and live tweeting, that is my collab with everybody. I remember I was in the courtroom one day and a friend of mine texted me and said, Melanie Little is sharing your tweets. And I got a ton of follows from that. I never felt like Melanie Little should have had me on the show. Why didn't she ask me? No, I mean, I was doing my work, and I loved that other people were using that insight and my views on the jurors, and I love that, and I'm very happy with that. Going on Brian's show where Brian is earning money because I'm there and earning more money because I'm there, and then him offering to pay me and me accepting that, I think is a business decision. My issue, which I don't see anybody other than my people really understanding, is if I had this job with Brian, I shouldn't have been subjected to him talking shit about other people. And I shouldn't have been part of his plan to one up people or make other people look bad or whatever. And I don't like it at all. And at all. And I guess my issue is it's been bothering me this whole time. In regards to me asking him about the studio and he didn't come on, I hope that this is going to explain it. It wasn't that like he didn't want to come on. If you go back and watch, you can see I'm holding back. I'm not really talking about it. My issue was the minute I got the keys, he put me in the category as competition. And it was almost offensive to me that he did that, because number one, I did go on his show the whole year before with no money. I did support going on the show a second time and collaborating with him for a fee. And my issue with him is that he instantly put me in the category as he put Mike Crawford and the Glarer and these other people, and not ghosted me, but like that's it. You know what I mean? I was competition. Then it was I put a picture of my keys up for my studio. He put a picture of keys for his new studio. If you go back and you really look at this stuff, and I love the messages I've been getting from people that are going, I am looking at this very differently now. If you go back and you really look, things just click and make sense. Okay. They really click and make sense. And, listen, if there are people in this chat here that don't like what I'm doing, get off the stream. Get off. Go do something else. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Get off. This is my space, and I want to complain about Brian and his bad behavior and how mean he was to people I really like, and how he made me sit there and listen to it, and how he used me to kind of like do his stuff. I want to talk about that. This is my safe space. You're bothering me. Don't be here. Go away. Go support your man. He's got a live stream going right now. I am sure it is a thrilling session of original content that you are so desperately missing in your life. Get over onto his stream and give him the numbers. You know what? What are the numbers? Great. He's got 657 and you're one of my 3,600. Go give him a view. Go give him some likes. Just know. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about, you have other stuff I said? Now let's talk about other things that really kind of irked me. First of all, I have learned since my rant that this is not unique to the Karen Reed group, that Brian, some of you may know, was part of a BMW community. Brian was part of a watch community. So I'm going to say this. Can people evolve? 100%. You can evolve. You can do one thing with your life and you can do another. I've evolved in certain ways. Have I always been doing this? Yes. At different levels. But yes, I've always been calling out politicians. I've been always doing FOIA requests. I've been always kind of asking questions of politicians, blah, 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 blah. Have I always been covering court cases? No. But it all aligned with corruption. It was all part of that thread woven through my life and the stuff that I cared about and the things that I wanted to talk about. That made sense to me. It's probably why I'm not going to cover the Brian Walsh case anymore, which I thought would be something I should do because I think I have a talent for courtroom reporting and watching jurors. But I'm not a true crime girly. I don't watch true crime. I don't watch any of those things. Stop roping me in with the true crime community, which is also really great. And I know a lot of besties love it. I'm just not that. So my theme is corruption, government corruption, bad politicians, cops not doing their investigations. That's a big part of the Pathier case. So the Karen Reed case was for that. Okay. It wasn't about the true crime thing, just so everybody understands that piece. So like everybody can evolve. What I've seen is that Brian wants to be successful on YouTube. Brian wants to make a living off of this, and I get that. I have a problem with the way that he does it and how it incorporated me. If I had never met Brian, you would not be hearing this. But since we are talking about it, I don't like the fact that there were some people out there doing the heavy lifting and the Karen Reed stuff, and he wasn't. And again, would just have people come on and talk about it and pay them to talk about it. And listen, my Kate Peter interview wasn't great. I should have asked harder questions and things I really wish I had talked about. I was worried we were going to be in a fight or flight mode with Kate Peter and I was going to lose her. And then it being my first show, how was I going to fill in the rest of the time? And I didn't want it to be embarrassing for me and all of these new viewers. And I didn't hit hard enough with Kate Peter. I get it. But there have been some examples where Brian has had an opportunity to stand up, ask questions, get involved, be something, and he hasn't done it. There's a clip of him where like Jen McCabe walks right by him and he's just sitting there and he's not asking a question. He's not saying anything. And then there's this clip that really kind of we can, yeah, the video. I can't, and listen, this is for me because it's just, yeah, this one. We have to hear what he says. I don't think do we have the volume on it? Oh, we have to do volume. Can you do the volume on it? Oh, how do we get the volume on it? We suck. Is there a way to get the volume? Where is that coming from? Want to try that? Should lower this. Just kidding. We can read lips. Let's see if he's like, "Hi, Mama," to Janet Reed. Oh, let's try it. We're gonna get to the Enrique Delgado Garcia thing because that's another thing too. And the integrity, if you're going to group us all together and all of these Karen Reed adjacent creators are all part of a group or whatever, doesn't it matter that there's some integrity? Doesn't it matter that like when Aiden talks about something, he brings the receipts? Doesn't it matter that if I'm writing a story about the migrant crisis, I've got it right or I've done the work? Like, doesn't any of that matter? And the Glairer is not a reporter. Like the Glairer is an entertainer. He is like a YouTube personality. Brian is a journalist. He's trying to be a journalist. He is purporting himself to be a journalist. So I think, are we to share screen? Did you send it to me with audio? Yeah, definitely. Do you see this on the screen? Wait. I don't know. I don't know. It's just LTL is more of an activist. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do this. We're not sure. And then there's this whole thing about blocking. First of all, I fully expected a response from Brian. For people that say like take it offline and talk to Brian, no. Where's the fun in that? I'm not saying people are saying Jess cultivated and created this and her husband. Listen, I'm going to explain this part of it because this is me saying to my husband basically, first of all, the besties asked about Brian, and that put a bug in my ear. But I am telling you, with everything I've told you, I have already had this problem with it. It has been existing for a long time, and I didn't have a platform to talk about it. Actually, I'm not going to write a Substack about this. This is something I want to chit chat about, and I've got a studio and a show now, and I'm going to use my time to chit chat about it. Again, I understand if you expected my Saturday show to be a little different, that's fine. But also, like, can I not do this? Why can't I do this? Why? I mean, I'm saying that I'm going to. You can't stop it. I'm going to do it. But like, I don't know. I don't want to call Brian. You know, like if Brian wants to talk to me, okay, great. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, he won't talk to me about it. He won't discuss this. He won't come on this show. He's got a problem with it. He's not going to do it. Like, if Will and I got into it, I know Will and I could have a chat and talk about it and come on here and talk about it. If I don't know who else. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I also feel like we still can't do it. I don't think so. I'm doing a live show. I can't speak right now. Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Okay, there we go. This back on track. StreamYard has been a little weird. We were testing our mics earlier, and it was giving us a hard time as well. I do love StreamYard, but hopefully I'm not. Can you please put that aside and talk about these things are going so fast. I don't know how. Can we read some comments? Do people want me to do people have any questions? I don't know what you're asking the wrong girl. What do crowns mean next to people's names? I have no idea. Somebody say I miss Esty. Motion for Jess to talk about whatever fuck she wants. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. So him blocking me. Okay, that's fine. Blocking is weird. So fun fact, I don't block anybody at all. I mean, ever. Steve Cody, I blocked him, but I don't block anybody on Twitter unless you're being gross. And I mean, it takes a lot to get me there. I believe in free speech. 100%. I believe everybody is allowed to have an opinion. I also believe if somebody wants to come to my space and read my things, that is a deliberate choice that they make. That is cultivated from some sort of choice they've made in their brain, and I will allow them to come on here. I have Erin as a mod and Tina as a mod, and I was very clear, do not block anybody. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. I think blocking is weak. I think it shows no backbone. And also, I know 99% of the time, if you're blocking somebody, you're just using a burner to look at their stuff anyway. There is no way you're going to tell me that because I am blocked by LTL Media, that Brian LTL Media isn't going to watch this, look at the comments, see everything I post. It's 100%. If anything, it's going to be ramped the fuck up. He is looking more than ever. Also, can we talk about this? You know what? You guys are all giving me a hard time. The man got more views this week on Twitter than he has had in months. And Facebook, thank you. Thank you. By the way, you know, another thing that I uncovered as well, he did not have the views until he had Aiden on his show. So if you go back and you look, it's like very mediocre bullshit. And then he got Aiden, which by the way, he paid for, and got Aiden on his show. And then the views happened. Now, it is smart and it's good business, I think, to find guests and whatever. But I'm not sure, with the track record that I know from the inboxes that I have, that Brian was seeing success in these other places. And he was also having problems with people in these other places. And so now it's very easy for him to come over here when there's a lot of stuff. He's provided a service. It's great. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm just going to tell you, and we're going to go back to this. I don't like his stuff. I don't like how he acts. I don't like how he treated people. I don't like his content. I don't like the way that he used me. I don't like any of it. I also think, by the way, now I wonder how many people get paid to go on his show. How many of those people, all of them? You think all of them? That makes a very big difference to me. If people are being paid to go on your show. And is there anybody that pays him to go on? Does anybody pay Brian to go on? What kind of crazy question are you asking? You know nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Go ahead.
Is this muted? Am I on? Can you guys hear me? Because listen, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But does anybody pay him to go on? Do we know the answer to that? Can you guys hear me? Can you answer in the chat? I'm sorry, I don't know how to work the stuff. Thank you. Bye.
Mazza doesn't get paid. Mazza's like a good egg. Listen, there were some, by the way, there were people that are good eggs, and there are people that are really good eggs. I thought Brian was one of them. But he was not. And he's got a lot of people fooled.
Just to like circle back with what you just said, that would, not even watching YouTube stuff a lot, it's like, it changes everyththing, right? It changes everything. If he only pays people to be on the show, or if people pay him to be on the show, does that change like your view of him? It's almost like, I don't know what to compare it to, but that it's just not as, I don't know, as not authentic. But
I wish I paid a little bit more attention to who he was working with, who he wasn't working with, people who were interacting with him. Now, yesterday, the Glare did like a 4-hour like live stream, like whole thing. And he really went off, and I joked. He was like, you know, he said he had been keeping this in for a year, which aligns with what I have known. And I think it's funny, you know, I never talked to Will about it. I wasn't talking to people about it, but like, I think that, you know, Will kind of, I said, I'm happy to free you from your prison that you were in, Will, where you couldn't talk about this. But also, Will, you definitely could have talked about this. You could have been the front runner on this whole thing instead of me.
If you knew so long ago, why didn't you warn the people, sir?
Why didn't you warn us? Somebody could have warned me. Somebody could have said something to me. So that's that. I felt like I needed to, I didn't give enough. I felt I needed to give a little bit more. I also feel, you know, I think, I'm not going to say it's unfair, but if I can request something, it would be if people could compartmentalize my work that I do, my investigative journalism, which by the way is really good. And there's nobody else doing that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a couple of us, but like, there's a reason why I have so many things I'm working through, because there aren't enough of people doing it. If you could take that and say, okay, Jess is really great for these stories and uncovering these things and talking about corruption and political stuff, right? actually put the politics aside, the corruption and all of that stuff, the records requests, all those things. Take that, put that aside. Then go over to the other side where I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, I am like all about trying to change things in Massachusetts and trying to get everybody to understand that the reason why house prices and utility rates and your car insurance are so crazy is because it's connected to politicians, and all of which are Democrats in Massachusetts. So talk about that. And then me wanting to expose you to candidates so you have more of an educated vote when you go to a voting booth. Then there's like that part of me. Then there is like this ratchet part of me that exists. And I'm very sorry to disappoint all of you. Like, you can't.
It's my favorite, Bunny.
It's very disappointing that you will not accept my whole personality, because I can't change who I am. I'm not going to change who I am. I understand it's hard, but like, give it a minute, give it some time. I think it's all worthwhile. When it comes to the YouTube show, I just want to tell everybody was talking about it. Do it, do it, do it. Of course, I'm like, yes, I think I'll try to figure out how to do this. And the studio plopped in my lap, literally. If you didn't hear that story, my friend called me and she was like, how's everything going? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it's going great. And she's like, how's everything? I said, I'm just like kind of keeping my eye out for a studio space. And then she called me back and she's like, I got a studio space for you. Same day. Meet me here. I've got to meet you with Jeff. And Jeff came and gave me a key. And they were like, we want you to do this. We believe in you. Go work. And I was like, I'm not sure I was ready for it. I wasn't, because I didn't have the money to do it. The besties, supported me and did this little crowdfunding thing to help me get in here and buy things. And I wasn't ready, physically ready. I don't think I was emotionally ready. And I also wasn't ready content-wise, because I haven't been able to figure out or define myself. I can tell you what I'm not, and I'm not going to suck off other people's stories, and I'm not going to take them and talk about them in a bland way. I'm not going to pay people to come on my show. I'm not going to grift. I'm going to earn every cent that people give me, and I do earn it. I do the fucking work. I don't get it. Like, my phone never, almost cried just a second. My phone never stops, ever. It is insane how much my life is consumed with stories, with helping people, with I'm not complaining. This is not a complaint. I chose to get into this part of my work at this time in my life when my oldest daughter is engaged and looking to leave and get married. My son is going away to college, and my youngest child is going to be a junior in high school. This is deliberate. I kept saying to Erin and to my husband, if I'm ever going to go all in on like this career, this is the time. They don't need me as much. They're not home as much. So I'm all in. And when I mean all in, I sleep with my phone. I am constantly checking on leads. I am constantly digging. I am meeting people in parking lots and getting packages of paper that can't be sent digitally to me. I am meeting people to have conversations. I am meeting with sources. I am asking questions of politics. The shit I am doing right now in Fall River is so. Do you know that I put up this this show today, and it said, what did I put? It said something, I'm going to bring receipts or something like that. That caused like the whole group of politicians in Fall River to start thinking it was about them, and like the Coogan administration was like, we are screwed. It wasn't about you, Paul. I love all of it. I don't know if it was Will that said it last night, and he was like, it's not work. It never feels like work. This does not feel like work. When people would say, when you're younger, when you're in high school, like, if you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work. This is literally it. It does not feel like work. This is just an extension of like my brain, you know what I mean? And the things I think about and the things I would like to ask questions. I like to talk. I don't want to get like, is there another word for raked? Like, I keep saying raked because I feel like that's a thing, but like, what's the word for dragged? Shit on? Like, I don't know what the word is. Like, it doesn't schooled. Like, I don't know what the right word is to say, but I don't care that people are giving me a hard time, but also it's like, do you not get it? Do you not figure out like sometimes too, like, and I don't want to keep bringing up Aiden or whatever, but like sometimes when people give Aiden shit, I'm like, the guy was in jail. in a setup between the district attorney, the McCabe's, his whore ex-girlfriend, and like Ken fucking Rocket in his pants mellow. Like, does anybody like, even if this guy is doing stuff you don't like, does he not get a free pass for that alone? Does he not? Do you know how hard it is to put somebody in jail in Massachusetts? Do you know? I've been in a courtroom and I watch people. I want to be. Why am I not on the ratchet list? Use my name, Snatch Donkey, that he gave me. I'm sorry. I'm on like day 3 of my hair washing, and I wasn't planning it. Anyway, does Aiden not get a pass? Do you, in your heart of hearts, not think that that man is given like enough? I don't know. Somebody's saying the word is loyalty and I don't have it. I don't have it for people like for Brian. And you know what? Brian doesn't have loyalty to anybody but himself. That's it. And his brand and his channel or whatever. Loyalty, I have plenty of loyalty. I have loyalty to a man who wrote a story about me that like sent me to my bedroom for 24 hours. And I've been loyal to him ever since. Do you know why? Because I believe in what he does. I believe in his First Amendment right. I believe all of the stories he was working on well before Karen Reed. I believe in everything he says. I believe in his style. I believe in the way that he does stuff. I believe in everything that he does. And I believe that he is humble enough to admit when he makes mistakes, which he has, which he privately said to me when he said, you know what? I didn't reach out to you. I don't think that way about you. I'll take that story down. And what did I say? Nope. Badge of honor. Somebody send me a Turtle Boy t-shirt. Like, why do I not have one? Like, I'm Turtle Boy. I was on Turtle Boy. I have, all I get is this t-shirt. First of all, I am 100% loyal to him. 100%. And I hope that confuses people. I hope people are like, how or why? And I hope you come back to this and you see that. Another thing too, like somebody said something about like me and giving him my pass and I did it for clout. First of all, I had absolutely no intention of ever telling anybody that I gave him my pass. There's proof of that. There were people that were messaging me or they were commenting that day, like, Jess, where are you? Oh my God, I think you gave pass. I private messaged everybody and said, please take that down. I didn't want the court to know. I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't do it for clout. I had a feeling I was going to do it. I thought about it the day before. I was at home. I was in bed. I was thinking about it. And I was feeling like shit that he wasn't going to be in there. And as much as I don't think that he would have ever really like complained about it, he certainly didn't with me. I knew that he must have been like, I need to be in there for these closing arguments. So there was that. And then the second thing that happened is we were in there side by side. I got my pass and the girl told him no. And I looked right at him and I was like, I don't care if you believe it or not. Who I am as a person, I'm a really good person and I have a really big heart for people that I really care about. And I instantly just gave him the pass and was like, get up there and go. And he looked at me and he had such a, like, first of all, a look of surprise. Second of all, he was like, that's, are you sure? And I was like, get up there. And was I a little sad? 100%. I worked really hard to get in there. I busted my ass to get to that trial. But he deserved it and he should have been in there. And that's it. And so I did it. And I never would have said it except he posted about it. And I appreciate that he did it. But he also privately thanked me and he privately talked and said it was the nicest thing. And I know he'll never forget it. That's who I'm loyal to. I'm loyal to him. And I think he's loyal to me. If he's not, that's okay. But I know where I am. I'm loyal to him. And I'm not loyal to Brian, who used me a part of his scheme to like build his own loyalty and build his brand and like gave me a stupid fucking award that was to one up Mike Crawford. Like, I'm not playing victim, but don't you see how weird that is? That I was like, oh, wow. And then I was just like, this son of a bitch, this is bullshit. I did sit in the registry of deeds with all the ladies came downstairs and like talked to me. And that was so great. So anyway, why did I do it publicly? What was the real beef? Why did I do it like that? It's my space and I want to talk and I want to vent. I just don't believe it's fine. I don't know. I've shown you some receipts already today. Are you new here? That's the name of the stream. Are you new here? I don't really care. Brian wants to deny that. First of all, you can imagine my surprise when the glare jumped on yesterday and he was like, Cheech, I love Cheech. When the glare got on and he was like, I've known this for a year and a half. Number one, why didn't you tell me? And number two, I'll talk shit about Will. Will called me or texted me and said, can you call me? And I said, sure. And bless his heart, Will was like, he was doing the right thing. He called me and I put him on speaker. I said, do you mind that Erin's here? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, you want to be careful not to go after YouTube creators. It's a really tight group and people are a certain way and blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to give me advice. And in my style, I pushed back on him a little bit. Would you be loyal if he called you mama? Maybe. And by the way, I don't know Brian's relationship with the Reed family, with Nathan Reed. I don't know any about that. People who, if anybody is even remotely questioning whether or not I was asked to join that interview with Nathan and by Nathan, I don't know what to tell you, but that's how it went down. The way exactly as it explained to me was Brian called me and said he had scheduled it with Nathan. He spoke on the phone with Nathan. They set it up and then got off the phone. And then Nathan called him back and said, can you invite Jess or do you want to invite Jess? And then Brian called me and said, Nathan asked me to invite you. Now, maybe that was because Nathan knew I didn't have a platform and I wasn't interviewing people. Maybe I don't know. And I'm not going to text Nathan. I'm not going to ask him that question. I'm not getting him involved in that. I'm telling you that that's how it was. And also the interview was terrible. Also, there's other parts of that interview that were cringe. We had that interview and Erin says it was somebody else was going live. And I think it was Yannetti and it was Runkle. So Runkle was going live that night. And we had our show and then Runkle was going on and Brian got mad that in the comment section, people were like, Runkle's coming on. And it sucked that Brian didn't tighten it up, that he didn't end the stream with Nathan. So followers and supporters could do both. He didn't. And he stayed on fine. But then he stopped the middle of the interview and was like, have some respect for our guest and stop writing in the chats or whatever. And I thought that was awkward too. Number one, who cares? Number two, hurry up and finish this up so all these people here don't have to pick and choose between Nathan Reed and, Yannetti or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's that. I definitely believe Nathan asked for you. They watch the shows. They have favorites. They love Bettero and they love Maza. Yes. So that's, I feel like I covered it all. There's some other things I thought about saying and I'm not going to say. I think that's like a breach of trust between Brian and I, and I'm not going to bury him that way. Does that all make sense to everybody? Stop saying what? Okay. I won't, but it's just who I am as a person. Does that make sense? Talk about how you want on your own show. This show was my besties. They wanted this. I was told not to use besties anymore. That's fine. I almost stopped using it when Esty took it over. Where is Esty? Where is Esty? Did I ever even talk about the Esty? The glare is a real one for sure. Did I talk about Esty? I had the unfortunate experience of, again, another one that nobody warned me about. There was a weird interaction with Esty, and it was the day of the hi Nikki. It was the day. Oh, we didn't talk about the Enrique thing, but hold on. Let me talk about is it Esty or Etsy? Esty, bestie, okay. Esty, right? Esty. Okay, let me talk about that. And then I want to do my show and tell, and then I'll do the Enrique Delgado thing, and then whatever. And then my show and tell. And then we'll be done. Because we're not doing a 4-hour stream on a Monday. I as you know, I was not able to be in the courtroom for the last week. Looking back on that, that's crazy. And I'll never forget, we heard a rumble that we were going to be allowed. Like last time, they let everybody in on the last day. So for the verdict, they just had everybody go in and we all stood there, and they didn't do it this year. So there was a rumble that that was going to happen. And I saw Ted Daniel come from the media room. Poor Ted got the shaft. He was never in there, like never. And I saw him walking up the stairs. And so I ran over and I was like, are we allowed up? Like, can we get in there? And whatever happened, they put this weird lockdown situation down in the courthouse, and I didn't see that last time because I came from the courtroom. So the perspective was we got locked into a part of the courthouse where we couldn't move, and I was with Mimi Larrabee, Esty, Nick Rocco, and I think someone that came with Mimi, and we got pushed to the back of the courthouse on the first floor, and they had a guard there and he wouldn't let us leave, and it was unfortunate, but I realized in that moment, like, we're actually not going to be able to even go outside. Like, if I couldn't be upstairs, then let me out with the people, you know what I mean? And I want to be out there. And so we got stuck there and they wouldn't let us leave. And I was like, I want to get outside. And they were like, they wouldn't let us go. So, I had the unfortunate experience of having to share the verdict with Esty. And I don't know why I'm being so judgmental about people crying, because I often cry. I almost cried just now when I was talking about like my work and stuff, but I don't know. I felt there was some fake stuff going on there and I didn't love it. And there was another we did it. And I was just like, we didn't do anything, man. Like, we did it, Tommy. We did it. You know what? You know who did it? Fucking Karen Reed did it. They did it. How dare you cry on your show because you gave up vacations and you stood outside in the snow, and in front of Nathan Reed do you say what sacrifice you made and you did it? What fucking sacrifice? There's no sacrifice. Number one, you made money off of it. Number two, you got exposure over it. Number three, you wanted to be there. You actually wanted to be there every day if you could. You wanted to be there. What sacrifice did Brian LTL make to cover, by the way, at a minimum, the Karen Reed trial? He was not boots on the ground. He was barely there. So what sacrifice? There was no sacrifice. And I'm sorry, like, but like, this is the intimate shit that like we can like really dissect. But like, I didn't like that he was saying that in front of Nathan Reed, who gave up his whole life for how many years? They fucked with his family. He wasn't at work. His whole life was upended. And by the way, forever, it's never going to go back to normal. He has sacrificed what was for what will now be. That sounded like a Kamala Harris thing, which I was like, I just had my vice president moment there. But like, how not only disrespectful, but how like lack of self-awareness do you possess where you want to talk to Nathan Reed in an interview that he was gifting you and talk about your sacrifice and then fake cry and say, we did it, Tommy. We did it. We did it. Please. There's no sacrifice at all. Do you think Aiden sits around and says, I made a what about all the ladies out there on the ground with their cameras and catching all of the all of the video and everybody that was out there and doing everything for the Karen Reed movement? Do you think those people like sit there and be like, I sacrificed my vacation time and I gave up so much and we did it. We did so. First of all, nobody, absolutely nobody can take any credit at all for Karen Reed being free other than Aiden, Carney, Karen, her family, and her attorneys, and that's it. And if you think that you're responsible in some way for the verdict and freeing her, you're not. Are you someone who supported her? Are you someone that did this whole movement, money, fundraisers? Yes. But the way that it was said in that Reed interview with Nathan, it was this weird crying shit, and I wanted to melt under the table. And somebody sent me a video of it and they like zoomed in on my face as he was talking. And it was like, you don't have to do that, dude. I already know. I lived it. The other situation that we didn't get to was the Enrique Delgado situation, aka Brian's mini Karen moment. He is essentially, and I don't know how much more, is basically taking that situation and he is placing it in the blueprint that is the Karen Reed situation and attempting to duplicate it. He is going to be the Aiden of the Enrique Delgado story, only it's not the same. He can't be Aiden and he can't duplicate that. You can't fabricate that. I don't care. I'll say it. He's got the video of it. He has the video of it. He showed it to me at a studio. Sorry. He's been holding on to it. Oh my God, my messages are, Bestie, I can't believe you're saying this about Brian. I have always felt this way. Bestie, I've always felt this way. Thanks for saying this. He's got the video of the Enrique Delgado situation. The thing on the mat and everything. He's got the video. He's got the video. He has it. Yes, he has it. Who says that? All caps. I put you on the screen. I show you. I show you. I try to show you. I didn't. I fail. Is it on? He has. Yes, he has it. 100%. Showed it to me. He didn't play it. He put it on his. Have I been talking this whole time? How far back do I have to go? Now you can hear me. So yes, he has the video, the Enrique Delgado video. I thought everybody knew that. He has the video. Showed it to me. He wouldn't play it, but he like put it on his screen and then he like slid the little cursor at the bottom so that I could know that it was the video. He has every right to gatekeep that. He has every right to do what he wants with it. But then I learned about this whole Reddit thing. And thank you to I actually had several. I said one, but I had several people send me over these Reddit threads. I didn't send them to Erin, and I don't want to delay this, but the family, essentially, Brian made a website for the Delgado situation. And then the family made their website. And then they messaged him and asked him to take it down because it was confusing people and competing against them. And he said no. And I'm like, that can't be real. But it is so on brand for him. So why are we all, listen, if we want to start from scratch and we all want to say that Brian has some really great attributes and does a really great job and he's got a hell of a pocket square, I'm in. But we cannot say that he is a good journalist, that he is a good commentator, and that he is a good peer to the YouTube creator community, because he's not. And I understand if it's going to take some of you a little bit of time. And listen, I don't have receipts of him talking shit about Mike or Will because I don't, but he did. And he also did it in person as well. And he's very insecure about these people and would talk about that. And there's other things that he would talk about, including women in his life that, again, that I think that crosses a line and I'm not going to talk about. But like, I feel like I've told enough here. And I owed it to you from Saturday. I just want to say this is not to influence people to please don't don't hate me and don't look at me a certain way. I value all my supporters. I value the people that get it. I do want people to say, hey, listen, maybe I like her work, but I don't like this kind of stuff. That's okay. Unfortunately, this is who I am. And if you guys want a YouTube channel, this is what you're going to get. What? So I'm happy to take some comments. I'm happy to hear some things. My phone is going crazy.
I'm sorry, friends. I can hear her because she's right next to me, and I was not looking at the little icon. I was trying to keep up with the chat to make sure we weren't missing anything.
It ruined my life, and I'm not obsessed with Aiden at all. At all. I don't know why people think that. He didn't ruin my life. I'm very open and honest about that. I don't get it. Why can't it be that I didn't like that he did that and he wrote a shitty story about me and it made me panic and I was embarrassed and I was like, this is something I can't get over for a day and think I don't want to be here anymore. And by the way, like there were other things going on around me running for office and local stuff that was really getting to be insurmountable. And Aiden's story just capped it off. Why am I not allowed to be open and honest about that? Isn't it better to say that that's how I felt for a day or two or whatever, and then I got over it and I'm stronger because of it? What's wrong with that? Also, I am capable of forgiveness, and I understand why he does what he does. I didn't love that I was a part of it, but the bigger picture is that what he does and the work he does is far more important. I'm an oversharer. I'm very sorry. So you're gonna see that. And by the way, I didn't have to warm up to Aiden. I always felt what Aiden did was great work. I do similar work. So why would I not feel like there's some camaraderie there? Erin will read the chat at a later time.
Friends, I'm new. You know this. I can only do so many things at once. I have the big chat over here so I can try to keep up with it. And then to try to find it here, I was just going through some old ones, so I'm sorry. Yes, we will. Am I unmuted? We read them at the end. Is that okay? Is that like what I don't know what the proper like rules are with the super chats, but I think
I'm sorry. Stop reading don't read super chats.
I didn't want to be rude and interrupt to read the super chats. We do those at the end. Is
also,
that okay?
I didn't know on Saturday about the super chats.
Also, don't ever mute yourself again because I don't like getting yelled at.
Okay, stop yelling at Erin.
It was her own fault.
Don't yell at her. Must protect Erin at all costs. You all want an Erin. I'll share her with you. I didn't know about the Betterow thing, and I love Mark Betterow. I suspect at some point in my life I will need an attorney. Said Erin, you're good. I really like, there's something about the way that Mark Betterow talks and explains things. It's like, it's ASMR in my brain for law, if that makes sense. The way that he talks, it's just like, oh, it's soothing. It clicks. I get it. It feels comfortable. It's like, it makes me understand. I really like Mark, attorney. I really like him. I also like Tim Bradle a lot too. I love Tim Bradle. I like Alan Jackson and Yannetti, but I was always very nervous to even like interact with them. Like I would just be like, hi on my way in. Or it was only when Alessi would start talking about his food and he was talking to Sue O'Connell, I would just kind of like interject a little bit here or there. Also, he really is like, he's a special guy. I also feel I can use this opportunity to clear up something about the Sandpiper film situation, because I saw this, I don't want to admit this to a lot of people, but like there's all these burner accounts, and I know that like many of you know to whom these burner accounts belong, but I do not know who is who. But I do think that a burner account that was talking about me today and addressing me is fake victim, Lindsay. And so I don't know, maybe I even have that wrong. I'm not sure, but that person was talking about me being a part of a Sandpiper film, whatever. So again, as much as I know about migrant crisis and politicians and campaigns and political races and all of this other stuff going on. I just want to let you know, like, I really am a little out of the loop when it comes to some of this other stuff. So I don't know a heck of a lot. I have some good people. Tina always fills me in and gives me some good information. Not good information, but like I have to ask her. Like she'll say, "Oh, like this person did this," and I was like, "Can you explain that to me?" And she will. Like I miss a lot because listen, maybe of you in here is like really into everything, but you don't have, when you open your phone, 500 notifications like I do. When I touch my phone, it's like, I don't know, like there's so many. And sometimes I'll scroll for as long as I can and I'm not even done. And then my phone rings. And then there's email and messages. I'm doing my best. I'm trying hard. So anyway, this person today goes and puts up something about like Sandpiper Films. Last year, I got an email from Sandpiper Films and asked if I would be a part of their documentary. And I said, yes. Before I did, I ran it by Anthony Amore. I said, can you check out this company, see if it's legit? He did the recon work and he was like, okay, they're fine. It also happened with the Phelps guy. I sent that over to, how did that work out for everybody? So I said yes. So Sandpiper messaged me. I said, sure. I think if I'm correct, I did 2 Zoom interviews with Zora. And, can Michael Phelps take what I say and kind of cut and splice it and make it adjacent to something? Maybe. I don't know. Is it Sandpiper? Sandpaper. I think it's Piper. Yes. Am I in control of that? No. Can it happen? I think we have a history with Aiden and his situation with the Phelps guy. It can happen, and they can kind of like create the narrative and take whatever. I have to say, I'm super confident in everything I said in all my interviews about Karen Read. I know where my head was, and I spoke honestly about everything. Now, Sandpiper or Zora had reached out to me and was getting pretty aggressive about me connecting with her. She was coming stateside. They're from Europe. She was coming stateside. She wanted to meet, and we worked it out, and I was going to meet them. After a couple of days, we figured out a date. Again, all in emails. We had a date, and something really weird happened. We were supposed to be meeting, I think it was 110 Grill in Braintree, maybe. And so I'm 40 minutes away from there. I was dressed and getting in my car, and I believe it was going to be her and her producer. And I was in the kitchen. I was saying goodbye to my kids, and I got a call from her, and she said she was going to cancel that, or she texted me, actually. It might be on one of my other phones. I got to go get one of the babies and get it. But I think she said to me, she texted me, and she's like, somebody that they had been really wanting to connect with and interview with was now available, and they had to take that meeting. And yes, LTL has the video of the fight. And so I was like, okay, kind of crazy to cancel, 45 minutes out, especially if I'm traveling. Good thing I didn't get in the car. I never heard from her again. I think there was maybe one more conversation. And then somewhere after that, I found out about it being connected to the other side of things. And they messaged me again, and I did not respond. And so the last receipt from them was an email asking to connect with me again. But at that point, I had found out. I don't know if it was Aiden that told me, but I figured out who they were, and I didn't participate. They've already got me on interview, so I've got a couple of things, but it is what it is. I'm just reading some things and they're making me giggle. So yeah, I mean, I didn't get compensated for that. I did sign a contract with them. I signed one with Phelps, I think, too. I had Anthony look those things over. And I was just authentic and honest about everything. Whether it comes out that way, I can't be so sure. But I didn't partner with them to help the other side or anything like that. I think everybody understands where I stand in this, and I've been that way right from the beginning. In a way, I hate to say it, as much as I was invested in the Karen Read thing, I'm here for the Aiden story. The story of what has happened to Aiden, I think, number one, has a bigger chance of happening to me and you, as opposed to Karen's. I know a lot of people would say Karen, it could be one of us. It could happen to us. But I think there's a greater chance of what's happening to Aiden happening to me because of the work that I do. And I think having experienced it myself, I think it is absolutely fucking nuts what has happened to Aiden. That to me, and it's not only that, it's the sheer depth of the conspiracy. It's the sheer depth of the players involved. The day I learned that Lindsay was texting Ken Mello, the day that she enticed Aiden to come over, it really unlocked like a new fear in my brain. And I can't believe it. As hard ass as Aiden is, as a pain in the ass as people may think he is, as the way that he does things may not be everybody's cup of tea. Calling, John O'Keefe's mother a name, would I do it? I don't know. Maybe under a certain circumstance I would. Where's Brian LTL's mom at? But to know what these people did, even Lindsay, I really do believe, and I have seen text messages between Aiden and Lindsay. I've talked at length to Aiden about Lindsay when he was in jail. I've talked to him post, jail. I genuinely believe that Aiden used his heart a lot of the times in his conversations with her, and he's a softie for these girls. These bitches, they whip him. I don't mean Meredith. I'm just saying, like, I think he was just being way too nice. And I think the problem is people can't believe that because of his online persona, which I think is real, but who he is out here doesn't necessarily correlate with somebody that's being so kind or forgiving or giving so many second chances. How can you put in your brain that Aiden's going to give Lindsay Gatani chance after chance after chance when on here you screw up one time and he's got 5 stories about you? People can't make that connection. But I think when it comes to women, it's a different ball game for him. And the way that Tully and Mello set him the fuck up with Lindsay Gatani is like something I have never seen before. The Karen Reed thing, it's similar, but I'm more worried about I don't know. I always felt that Karen was never going to do jail time. I'm worried that they've evoked from Aiden a bunch of different things that could hurt him, and they got him in jail once. So I'm worried about that. He has a soft spot for kids, and I think that's what he got. Yeah, I do too. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my vibe on all of that. It is, what time did we start this? 6? All right. So Erin wants to stay here and I'm not staying here. I'm not staying. It's late. And now it's dark in here. So there's a whole new 5. Jess, you should replay the Ken Mello interview I did one day. It is insane. Yeah, that's so funny too, the Ken Mello thing, because that was by luck, like that I got that Ken Mello interview. I shot my shot and I got it. That's crazy to me. Also shot my shot with Aiden in that interview. But that's the thing. I was kind of like, how come nobody's calling this guy and talking to him? Doesn't anybody want to talk to him and know what's going on? Like, I'm pissed that he's hoarding that. Yeah, he's got that. I knew that people would be mad about that. Some people would be. He does have the footage. I'm not sure it's what you all think it's going to be. That's my opinion. I'm not sure there's a real story there. What happened with Aiden and Meredith, I have no idea. I can't read those things. What's that one? It goes too fast. Yeah. What I can do is I can pull my phone and I can look at on YouTube and I can like maybe answer a couple questions. Give me a second, I'll pull it up. Yeah, like any questions? If there are any super chats, somebody said what are starred mean? You're absolutely wonderful, Freedom Keeper 7. Oh, that sounds like somebody I would like. Thank you. That's very nice. Smash that subscribe button. Smash the like button. We did it, Tommy. We did it. We're going to get bunny shirts. A bunny after dark. I can't talk about Bunny After Dark things. I can't possibly put in a records request for tax dollars that were being spent on migrant shelters to improve them when the hotel should have been paid. I can't possibly talk about that and then talk about porn search history, because you can't be that kind of person. Maybe I'm all of it. Maybe I'm everything. Maybe I'm all of these things and I'm not good at all of them. Jess, strong, independent woman. Your work is inspiring and worthy and honest. You found your place and we're here for you. Thanks for all you do. Verdict is still out on that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I love this. This is very vulnerable. I don't know. Why is Brian keeping that tape and what happened? I don't know. Side note, can I visit and then those earrings end up these? Remember, Jess, it is just so I won't forget you, but for real, I love them. Jess, do you want these? Inbox me your address. I'll send them to you. What? Jess, what? I have to think about where I got these. Grab a hoe weaver. These I need to. We're going to get bigger screens and things because I need to be able to like I want to laugh at comments. I don't want to just talk. People can take it or leave it. You have a reputation that speaks for itself. I've really put in the time, everybody. I've put in the time. Please, like, I will. I could watch Jess every day. Yeah. Okay. Are you working with Erin at GM? That's you, Erin. You wrote that. Raffle off the LTL award. That's it. We're raffling it off. I just saw it pop up. We're going to raffle this off. I fucking love these people just get it. We're going to raffle it off. I also I know it's not for everybody because I have a lot of guys too. Hate your politics, love you. Thank you. You're a natural. You're giving Nurse Kim vibe. I have not watched Nurse Kim, but I was this close to messaging her the other day and asking her, like, can you call a hairdresser and tell me how to? Jess and Nurse Kim, please. I want her hair color. I love Erin. Erin has great hair. I want that color that Nurse Kim has. Like, but then I'd be pulling a Brian and just copying her. People get way too upset over politics. I think I have a really great group of people who get it. I try to just share information and then help you make a better decision when it comes to voting in Massachusetts. I get worried about how things are going, and I can correlate those things to who's getting elected. If that's makes sense. You should have said all of this on Saturday because at first I thought it was low. I would have understood more, and sure, more would have. That's okay. I fumbled. Same thing I did with the Runkle thing. Sometimes I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm going to try to come back and fix it, which is why my family's eating leftover meatloaf tonight because I'm not making dinner. For those of you who ask what I made for dinner tonight, Sunday dinner, I forgot, is a big thing. So I make a big meal on Sundays, every single Sunday. I also bake on Sundays. And I made extra meatloaf last night. So they're all eating leftovers tonight. So meatloaf, mashed potatoes from scratch, and then 2 kinds of vegetables, corn and peas. And I made peanut butter brownies. Jess, you are a breath of fresh air. Thank you. It is a learning curve. And I'm pretty confident that I'm going to figure this out as I go along. And I love that there are people giving me that feedback. Some people sent me some very lengthy emails and some of them are not nice, but I promise you, none of them pissed me off or got me upset. I'd like to think I'm very self-aware. I've been told in the past, like sometimes I say things and it's in the way that I say them and that turned people off. And so I had to learn how to develop my style of sharing facts, which is why I'm so psychotic over receipts. I'm so psychotic over stories with the receipts. There are a lot of people that are upset with that story that I was writing about the guy who was part of the Little League and he's the athletic director for Boston Public Schools, and there was like an OnlyFans situation going on there or whatever. I still have outstanding FOIA requests or public records requests there, so I can't go anymore. But people were mad. Not mad, but I know that they wanted me to talk more about it. I can't because I've gone out there knowing information and put stuff out there, and people, 1, don't believe me, and then 2, they call me a liar. And so I'm pretty methodical with like coming with receipts, which is why I came a little with some receipts with Brian. I know some of it is still going to be my word against Brian's. That's okay. I'm pretty confident in where I'm at. And there's some validation coming in the inbox that I'm not going to share. If you send me a message and you want me to share it, I will. But there's some people, you know. Jess messaged me back in the middle of a concert. I did. I messaged back. I was at the Doobie Brothers. What else? Oh, Jeff Leary, Fall River Raw. Jess is the queen of all media. In Fall River? No, that belongs to King Leary. Plus, Jeff saved 2 cats. I need to know who Mr. Monk's understudy is. There are some accounts that I really, really vibe with. I know it's weird. I don't know them. I don't even know their real names, but that's one of them I really vibe with. Mary Malarkey, $10, and said, I stopped watching Brian's channel because I felt his streams were regurgitated content from guests who were on other channels the night or two before. I recall Mike promoting his channel and guests. Yeah, that, I mean, listen, that could also fall under the umbrella of like his style, which he is perfectly within his right to do. It's just there was some other stuff going on that I felt like I needed to share with everybody, if that makes sense. Jess Machado is getting invited to my wedding. Wait, are you getting married? Let's go. Can we talk the massive studio space LTL has? Who does he really have going in? Give me a break. Again, this is a one-up thing. I know just enough about it where my studio space was getting some attention and it was time to one-up. Will is allowed to petty stream and so are you. Erin has sent me a bunch of Taylor Swift lyrics and songs today, trying to remind me and empower me. I'm not a feminist by any stretch of the imagination, and I am sure by saying this, it's going to turn some of you off, but man, I really think women belong at home and raising kids and taking care of the house and going to Target and getting a Starbucks and just taking care of it. And if it's not a woman, then the man should be there. But I think families and homes just are better with one person there doing that. And I hate that we're in a society that can't afford that. I did, but it was a tremendous financial sacrifice or whatever. So there's that. Wait, what was the comment? What did it say? But what was it though? What led me to say that? Oh, so, and I'm not a feminist by any stretch of the imagination. Like, I'm just not. And so, but I did say strong women at one point in my statement the other day, and I kind of regret. I have no regrets. I have no regrets. Would I do it again? I don't know, but I shouldn't have taken that strong woman stance, but also it is a little unfair. Like, I firmly believe, let me read this first and then I'll say something. I was so glad the Glare put it out there because it needed to be done by a man, but let BTL know we're on to him. I'm going to tell you something. If Aiden took everything I said and put it out there, and I'm not saying he feels the same way because I think he's trying to stay very neutral and doing right by both of us. I think it would be very different. But I don't know. I also don't care about that. Are you saying that women can't be reporters? Listen, I really think Will got me there. It's very hard for me to say that because I'm a very independent woman, and we are going to invite my husband to sit in that. How do I do it? That chair one day, and you're all going to learn what it's like to be my husband. And it is not easy. And I'm very opinionated and strong-willed, and I essentially, some people, like, I don't know who said it, but somebody said, like, is just married because she just does what she wants all the time. And I just want to let you know, and we can do a whole class on this too, but I essentially, when I met my husband, I told him, this is how it's going to be. And either you can take this or not. At that point, it was my third relationship. You know, I had 2 exes, 2 baby daddies. My husband and I don't have any kids together. It was basically like, it's just going to be this or take it or leave it. At least Jess Macchiato's husband is getting some peace and quiet this evening. Oh, I don't care. He is. Are you kidding? Jeff can't stand. We don't talk about this at work. We don't talk about politics. Nothing. Jeffrey does not want to hear any of this shit ever. I'm getting dizzy with my 360 degrees turnabout. Desired effect. Doobie Brothers were great. Macchiato, I love it. Jess, you were the first to do the Lindsay story. The OGs remember. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I wrote that Lindsay story and I gave it to my boss. He told me we were going to print it on Fall River Reporter. Aiden was like, "Are you printing it?" And I was like, "Yes." And then I kept going back to my boss and I'm like, "Are we printing this story?" And he got a message from Lindsay Gatani and his ball sack shrunk up and he was like, "We're not printing it." And I said, "Nothing here is illegal. Run it by legal. This is absolutely possible to be put out there." I put it out on X, but not in like on a platform. I put it out there and he refused to print it. So and pissed me off actually because I spent so much time on that story and doing research. And then there was this whole thing where people were giving me shit about it being impounded or whatever. I got my stuff about Lindsay before the impound. Not my problem. It wasn't able to be talked about. And it doesn't also negate, by the way, that Lindsay Gatani has a whole life history documented in the court system of leveraging restraining orders to go after the men in her life. It is habitual. It is a lifestyle. It is her love language. It is what she does. I don't think it'll be the last, to be quite honest with you. I fucking hate her so much. Ugh. Is that it? Okay. When can I do my my show and tell? Can I do a show and tell? Every single time we do a show, we're going to do a show and tell. Sometimes it'll be things I stole, which we'll do that now because we have those. Here's my when my first daughter was born, so 24 years ago, almost 25 years ago, at my baby shower, I got a gift, a basket full of things. And in the basket was this lotion by Crabtree and Evelyn. It's hard to see. Wait, how do I do this? Oh. I'm so not good at it. Anyway, this is a lotion and it has Tom Kitten on it from Beatrix Potter. And anyway, when my daughter was little, I used it. And when she was like a toddler and she hurt herself or her legs were hurting, I would always say, "We're going to put Tom Kitten lotion on it. It's going to make it better." And eventually I ran out, but my daughter was, anytime she got hurt or she was sick, she's like, "Can you rub Tom Kitten lotion on me?" So I would just perpetually refill this bottle. Each one of my children ended up, every time they were sick, "I need Tom Kitten lotion. I need Tom Kitten lotion." And I still have the bottle. It's empty now, but this was a big part of my kid's life. And yes, I'm a hoarder. But this just reminds me of when my kids were little and Tom Kitten lotion is a thing. And it's in my bathroom cabinet and it's always there. And sometimes it's in the back and sometimes it's, when I open the cabinet, it's in the front, which means one of my kids took it out and was looking at it. And so meow meow. Oh, my kitten, meow meow. Meow meow. Can I see oh, here it is. I stole some things from my award ceremony. Completely forgot about this. These are just some things from the award ceremony, some flyers and things like that. But I in the box, I stole the table number. Table number. I souvenir and trinket. It's on brand for me. So yes, I saw that. So that's my little show and tell. Do we have any more thingies? If somebody did a super chat, that means they paid me money. Then I want to read it. Okay. Thank you. Is that Holly SM? Thank you. Very nice to you. See that. Thank you. He didn't give Jess a platform. She has a platform and has had long before BLT. P.S. I bet he has softer hands than all of the women in the chat. Thank you, Julie. The Canton Chronicle, $10. How long before we get Machado merch? We are struggling. If one of you wants to take that over for me, Shopify is hard, Erin says. I knew it was hard. Like, I'm not by any means not smart, but I was like, and then Erin was mad at me and she's like, "Where's the merch?" And I was like, "Okay, you want the passwords? Sure." And I gave it to her. And then she was like, "Mm-mm. I don't know how people do merch. I have the ideas for the merch. I have the things I want, but I don't know what to do." Erin's there. Did I give more than the Canton Chronicle? You did, Mike. Oh, did I? That he was the only one that I was charging. Canton Chronicle. Janine B, $5 says, totally OT. Did you follow Fall River Benavides, Pavo, Rigo back? Oh, what? Absolutely. Yes, I did. Are we talking about Wayne Rigo when he used all that money from the school committee to go on vacation to the Azores? And also, I have major tea on him. I should do a story about that. About the kid that died in his house. Yeah, we go way back. Inbox me, please. Wait, somebody said we need a shirt that says "We did it" merch. I won't steal it from him. That's his stuff. It's his. See if you can, Florence, not Nightingale, $5. See if you can talk to the lady who got a picture of Brian at the Shawhegan Fair. I do have some ladies in the inboxes, but I'm not giving that kind of tea. That's next level. But it does add to my level of confidence in this subject matter, just so you know. Corn on the cob today equals corn on a log tomorrow. Meatball Morrissey, Sketty Stain. Thank you. I'll read it. Flamingo Chicky, when are you going to have memberships? What are memberships? I don't know the answer. I don't know what that means. Soon? Anyone else find it strange that Lindsay G is younger than Frankie's daughters and they went to high school together? What, really? That is the least concerning part about Lindsay Gatani. Jess, I want to hear about this Jacob case if you have time. I'm not on Twitter much. If it is on there, I will snoop afterwards. I think I did a Substack on it. I think I did a Substack and kind of linked all of my stories, but I did many stories on the Jacob story. But I will maybe do a show about it. If you're not on Twitter, what you can do, and I don't mind going back because I worked there or whatever, but go back to Fall River Reporter, type in Google, Jess Machado, Fall River Reporter, Jacob Pathier, Pothier, and it will link you to all my stories. There's that story is, there's more to come on that story. The wheels of justice, as you all know, are very slow. Yes, Erin, Bunny After Dark merch. High Defense Diaries podcast. Get a fake Crowd Daddy shirt from the Ratchet TV just wrote about. I'm sorry for being harsh, Jess. The backstory always helps us. That's okay. I have really thick skin. I've said this before. Like, I even said, like, the only thing that can really get to me is if you call me a bad mom, but you would have to say something bad about me and how I parent and then get my kids to believe it. That would really get to me. Something that would impact. Runkle don't even care about it. Runkle's been so great. He messaged me, not sharing those messages, but he was like, listen, if there's anything I can do, let me know. And he had to comment a couple of times to call off his followers. He has some fierce followers that that really kind of defend him, which I think is amazing. I have those. I don't know how to inbox. You put my email on there? You're kind of burying the lead here. When did LTL get the Enrique video? Do you know? I saw it the day of the Nathan Reed interview at the studio.
Am I reading this right? Jeannie. If you want to email, can you see I put the it's the Just Machado Show at Gmail. So if you want to email us, and then I'll gather some of the links on that, and then I can send it over. Does that work?
You did. I just want to laugh. So I guess that is kind of a big deal that he has the Enrique video. He does have it. And I do know that he had it. Did you pay Kate Peter? No. Would I ever pay a guest? No. So I'm going to go back on that. I'm not saying I regret it. I am not earning enough to make a living off of this, but should I ever get to the point where I am rolling in fucking cash, the first person I'm paying is Erin, so she can quit her job and do this with me every day. And then the second thing I would do is probably figure out a way to get the mics to work and I don't know if I would. I just don't think before I ever had to go and pay somebody so that I would get views, I would hate myself, just so you know. I would hate myself that I suck so bad that I had to pay somebody to come on my show. Because if I don't have a guest, then I should be able to do this and talk. And
shout out Stacy Face Travels.
I hope her sponsors are listening. Is that being mean?
I don't know where the context came in. Whether it was good or whether it was bad. Stacy Face Travels, I saw you in the chats.
Stacy Face Travels was in the chats
Also Nicola,
the other day.
Nicola Maxwell.
Nicola Maxwell, that's my
yes, number one bestie right there. But Stacy Face Travels, I saw you, Boo. Thank you. We appreciate that.
I've got 2 messages from my 2 of my sponsors and one said I forgot to send you a check, and the other one she didn't get an invoice this week, and she was like, Nicole Sliney. All of my sponsors, by the way, know me outside of the realm of Twitter. They all know where I've been. They all know the path that I've taken. They know everything about me, and they, will I lose sponsors one day? Maybe. I've said this. I hope to not have to need sponsors, but I don't know. Jess, you need an iPhone and an iCloud. Melanie, who I love Melanie. I love her comments the past couple of days.
Also Melanie, also everywhere in the chat. We
Again, remember I said there's some people that I just like.
Yes. But also Melanie, where were you for the iCloud discussion?
Yeah, did you hear the iCloud discussion? Clouds. Nicola Maxwell is my sister from another mister. I'm obsessed. Runkle wants to get to a point with his YouTube so that he can. Yeah, so again, I learned that too, but again, because not knowing, he wants to earn money from his YouTube so he can help people from a legal perspective. Hi, Dennis. And I didn't know that about him either. God, the iCloud, I don't know. Does Steve say good morning every day on X? That was kind of endearing when I saw it during the chat. He does.
I get very mad when she doesn't answer him. There'll be days when I'll pop out on Twitter. I'll be on my lunch or something, and then I open my Twitter.
And she's like,
my ex, and I'll be I'll message her. Go say hi to Steve.
You haven't said hi to Steve yet. I probably haven't done it today. So this is my first official.
Can we discuss?
Good morning, Steve. Can we discuss what?
Good evening, Steve. I said I would circle back later. I don't know if he's still here, if he's still in the chat. But I think he's misinterpreting.
No, the glare.
I think he's misinterpreting.
I'm really not liking your producer, but I'll be nice. Look, she likes you.
Look, because that's what I said to her last night. Just so you know, Mr. Glare. I was I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he's very handsome.
So maybe
reconsider that. I'm not an instigating asshole. Just let the record show. Because then somebody said this after, and I thought you would get a giggle out of this one.
Glare, new girlfriend, Erin. Listen,
but he hates me.
I don't know if the Glare is single or whatever, but Erin.
He lives far away.
Tennessee is not that
All I'm saying is I think we got off on the wrong foot, sir. I think you need to get to know me a little bit better.
I am a matchmaker, in case people don't know.
We're not discussing this right now. She's the worst. We're only 1-for-1 with Stephanie and Anthony. We're not discussing the rest of this.
I did set Erin up with someone else. It didn't go well.
No, we're not doing that.
Sorry.
Anyway, Mr. Glare, I think we should have a conversation another time. I think you misunderstood what I was saying. I don't want anybody to not like me. I want everybody to love me all the time. I'm not an instigating asshole at all. Only when I'm with this one. Only when I'm here. Only when I'm with this one doing this stuff.
You wanted this.
So, okay.
Fresh start. What was I saying? So Steve is, and I didn't say hi. So good morning, Steve. He started saying good morning to me, and it was when I had not a lot of followers, and every day he would say good morning to me, and then I would always say good morning back to him. Not to be confused with Evil Steve, who I called on the show. By the way, listened to my text message. If you listened on Saturday, an old Tennessee, Erin is only... Listen, Evil Steve is a guy that used to listen to my radio show. He messaged me. Yes, I'm going to send the text to Erin and she'll drop it. So Evil Steve is a guy that listened to me when I had a radio station, and he was the first person to call me when I did my my daily show at night, and he called me and told me I sucked. Very similar to some of the comments that we're hearing right now. He literally said, your show is all over the place. It has no form. You suck. Stop doing this now. You can quit now. Blah, 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 blah. And I cried. And then the next day he called and I gave it back to him. And then we ended up having like a love-hate relationship. And by love-hate, he loves me. I hate him. And we were talking about him, and I decided to call him because Steve used to call me all the time. So why can't I? So I called him on the show. He sent me to voicemail. I didn't pick up. And he texted me this response here. I did leave him a message on air. I sent it to you. What he responded. See, this is how it should be. The Glera called Erin out and she responded. They'll end up besties by the end of the week.
I am always the like the angel and the devil on Jessica's. I always try to be the good. I always try to be like, do we really want to talk about this? Or like, what do we think about? I always try to do good.
Everybody needs a voice of reason. Everybody needs
try to be good. I want to be friends with everybody. There's no reason not to be.
I don't, just so you know.
Unless, yeah, but if they deserve it, then you know what I mean? We always start off.
Oh, I'm getting
loving everybody.
Send me. Show me. Steve. Look what Steve sent me. No, this is just, I'm just reading it. This is Evil Steve, not to be confused with Good Steve, who I love. Yes, he's so nice. I wonder where he lives or what he does, but I almost don't want to change what we do every day, which is like the good morning. And I say good morning. Sometimes I had an exclamation point. Sometimes I put a comma. Sometimes I say, I hope you have a great day, but it's just, I don't know. This is like being at Nurse Kim's house. All right, look what Evil Steve said to me. Not the top part. That was an old message. Media does not translate to fantasy football. Your slutty style got to win. Granted. Now it's time to prove your mettle. Look it up. Love you, Steve. I said, maybe. But then he responded. He goes, what kind of stupid whore message was that? And then he said, it's saved though. Haha. Hopefully 9,000 listeners will enjoy your sore loser money hungry message. Big deal. That's my love-hate relationship with Evil Steve. Not to be confused with the other Steve. I will tell you, after Steve won me over, which I always think he had a crush on me anyway, he offered me to go to a house down the Cape because he made fun of my pool. I said I had a pool. I have an above ground pool and it's not that big, but if you grew up without a pool and you didn't have one for long ever, when you get one at your home, it is the most luxurious thing in the world. I don't care. It's small. And I was talking about my pool. And of course, in Evil Steve fashion, he jumped on the call and he's like, it's not even an in-ground pool. Like, it's stupid. It's trash. And I was like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what an asshole. And then he texted me and he's like, I've got a pool you can go to. This is a friend of mine's house down the Cape. He's away. He said, you can have it for the weekend. And I was like, okay, sure. Sent me the address. And then I Google mapped it. And it's like a multi-million-dollar mansion. And Evil Steve was trying to hook a girl up, which he did. But it's my love-hate relationship. And it always ramps up around football season. That's the other thing too. He sounds like a murderer. It's football season and there's a whole other part of my personality you guys haven't seen. I am obsessed with football. I love football. Erin misses golf. We talked about this and then we got a great inbox. We're going to talk about that on Saturday, but football is everything to me. I hate that people were got to see BT. Oh, I missed it. It popped up in the chat. Football is life. I hate the politics of it. I hate their end zone. Now they have to have all of this shit written in the end zone. They get to pick from 5 different things. Like, I don't know if it's Black Lives Matter, but like whatever, all this. I hate when they get political. Don't come after my football. Like, don't. There's nothing like football to me. The camaraderie, the fandom, the game itself. Listen, I like basketball, hockey, golf. I love golf. I'd probably put golf at number 2 behind football. Baseball, I really like I like listening to a game on the radio. There is absolutely nothing like the game of football. The excitement everything about it. I'm obsessed. I learned a lot about it. I do fantasy. I love Go Chiefs. I am a crazy Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan since I was 17 years old. I lived in Pennsylvania, so I'm from here. We're going to end this. We're ending this. I lived here. I grew up here. I grew up here in Massachusetts. And then in my sophomore year, we moved to Pennsylvania. And we lived down there through high school and my freshman year of college. And go Eagles, go Birds. And so I'm a Chiefs fan. My husband is an Eagles fan. Go figure. And when we met, by the way, both our teams sucked bad. So we've come up. Excuse me. So while I was down there, I remember, so this is in the 90s. I had a little black and white TV that you could plug in, and we used to catch Chiefs games on like local stations because it was down in that area. And that's when Joe Montana was playing for the Chiefs. And I remember watching a game, and he won in the last minute of the game, and I became obsessed. I always liked football. And, nobody in my family was a huge football fan. I liked it, but I absolutely love Joe Montana. And I asked my parents that year for a subscription to Sports Illustrated. So every week I would get a Sports Illustrated magazine, and it helped with the boys in high school because I'd just put it in my backpack and the guys would be like, yo, can I read that? And I'd be like, absolutely. Here you go. And so I've been a Chiefs fan forever, and it's been a long, lonely road until we signed Mr. Patrick Mahomes. And then no, not a fan of the Patriots, and I will take all of your shit talking forever. It must be so sad for all of you. I'm so sorry. But there's a new legacy in town, and it's the Chiefs. And so Patrick Mahomes joined the team. I got my first Super Bowl win. The worst part about it, which all you Patriot fans will love, I didn't have anybody to fucking celebrate with. There was nobody to celebrate with. The Bears. No one understands the dedication required. That's true. I love Aaron Rodgers, although that is not my team. Like golf, congrats, Scotty. Yes.
But just so we all know how much I love this girl, I did not watch golf all day when I was here
Because of
on Saturday. I didn't even check it once. I forgot it was on.
Sorry.
It's fine.
We do love golf. And so no, I love the Chiefs. They're like my team, and I'm so happy we're in the middle of this like great run. And when my team kicked my husband's Eagles ass, he did not talk to me about it. We have never talked about that Super Bowl ever. We just don't talk about it. But then when his team won this time around, he's like shoves it down my throat every chance he gets. So football season is getting ready. I think we have this week coming up, then we're off for a week, and then we start. And I am just like, and yes, I have my quarterback's name tattooed on my arm. So they won the Super Bowl, and I said, if my team wins, I'm getting my quarterback's name tattooed. And I got Mahomes the day after the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl win. I'm that hardcore of a football Chiefs fan. Defense Diaries podcast. Yes. First of all, I know there are women. I'm going to dig it out. I wrote a story years ago, and I called it The Platinum Sports Wife. Oh, that unlocked a thing. I wrote a story about the levels of what kind of women like football and sports, and like you're a platinum sports wife if you name your kid Brady. Like you know what I mean? If you're from New England and you let your husband pick the name and your kid's name is Brady, you're a platinum sports wife. But then there's like the bronze, and they're like the pink hat girlies. Like I'm going to dig it up and I'm going to find it. Brian been writing creators' backs for years, starting with Trev and Detective John. What's that all about? That sounds like something I want to know. Mahomes walks funny. Mahomes does a lot of shit funny, but you know what he doesn't do funny? No look passes. That's not funny. And by the way, I am all for Travis Kelce retiring and going impregnating Taylor Swift. It is time to free up the cap and go and live a good life. And you know what I mean? Like we need a new tight end. He barely touched the ball last season. Barely. And I will openly admit it. We did not have a tough schedule last year, and that led us to the absolute pulverizing in the Super Bowl. That was very, very bad. Very bad. What did I start? Hi, Jess. I'm like, hi, Nurse Kim. Did I hear Brian has a video showing the boxing exercise of Enrique since the Nathan interview back on vibe is off not to share? Hi, Kim. Big fan. Yes, he has the video. And at a minimum, he has had it since the day that we were there in the studio. He pulled it up on the screen and showed it to me. Did not play it. He like moved the cursor on the bottom so that I could see that it was a thing. And yes, he has it. So he is gatekeeping it. I don't know what for. Maybe it involves revealing a source. I'm not really sure. Unlike Brian, I stay the fuck in my lane when it comes to other stories. I don't want anything to do with that. That's his. He can do what he wants with it. But yes, he has the video. What else?
I think we're done with the super chats.
I love a good troll. I love trolls. I just want to let you know, like, I don't want to admit it so early on in my like YouTube legacy career that I'm about to embark on, but like, if you knew how much I loved when people shit talked me, I guarantee you would not do it as much as you do. I just want to let you know. Like, to me, when you
favorite part of the radio.
It was my favorite part of the radio. When people like call in and are mean to me, it's my favorite. I will figure out a way to exploit that in a show. He did. Let me pull up the raw texted me. Yes, I did that with Connell in the Facebook message world. You take more souls over than I ever thought. I don't know. Listen, if Jeff Leary from Prestige is texting me at 8:26, this is 5 Jack Daniels in, okay? We can't decipher what this means. I just looked at this. I have a lot of Venmos on here that I would like to read. I mean, you know what I would like? Somebody should ask him, where's the video? Where's the video? Put it out there. I don't know, maybe he can't. I just saw a Venmo from Carrie Ann. I want to say thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see these before. Nikki, a Venmo, thank you. Charlene, my queen, $20. Thank you, Charlene. Marie, thank you. Danielle, thank you. Christine, thank you. Oh, geez. Linda, thank you. I think that's everything that I see. Thank you very much. Brian does have the video. That's the other thing too, by the way, we didn't talk about. He blocked. Is anybody going to look at that? Like, I feel, what's that meme where you got somebody looking at a board and it's like all the red lines connecting things?
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, there's so
Charlie from
many.
Sunny.
He blocks everybody.
Somebody said that in the comments before I had it started, and then I unstarted it. It was, how is anybody going to see the video if he has everybody?
In other news, I'm going to be auctioning off this amazing award. We're going to do a live auction. I'm going to put it on eBay. This is going to buy me a computer that doesn't lag. Do we do?
I don't know. I feel like we could probably, we can use the randomizer.
Can you?
We'll have to figure out like the top, or all the people with the crowns.
What do crowns even mean? I don't even know what crowns mean.
Did you not read the people's?
No, I can't read.
This is definitely better setup. I have the chat popped out in here, so it's all big. But they were saying that the crowns are like
the
top
Always Sunny
commenters.
conspiracy dude. Yeah. Okay.
So maybe next week we take all the crowns and we throw them on the randomizer.
Somebody just said kitten mittens on here, and I wonder what that's about. I just love. I want to. Me. I'm going to put it in a kitty and use it to pay guests. I'm going to use it to pay Brian to come on my show. Yeah. What else? LTL deleting comments now about the video. I don't care. What do you mean? What did I start? He has the video. I'm not showing the video. Oh. Somebody pull up the meme of the Wicked Witch where she goes, fly. Fly, go get the video. Go. He has the video. He's live. Get into the comment section. He's got the video.
I think he is on.
You're muted.
I think I'm unmuted now.
Okay. I just can't.
Wait, this, guys, I gotta go back to this.
What?
He's deleting the comments about
He's
the
deleting
video.
the comments about the video. Good. Dance, puppet, dance. Jamie, you see, just Susan, stop. These are too generous. Don't do this. Do not send this kind of money. Don't do that. That just made me uncomfortable.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you getting? You're
It's
getting
a
nice.
lot of money. Yes.
So
don't do that.
does that? Can we chat for a few minutes before you get going? Because look, I can see her eyes watering from here. How do you feel about this? This little rundown.
Well, I can't see, and I
Better
want to
than-
hang out with
better than
everybody in the
Saturday?
comment section.
Better than Saturday night and Sunday night? Do you feel better now? She was not feeling great the other
Just
day.
stop writing Brian's success. Somebody just said.
Because that's what I was. Does the support in the chat and then the people hopping in here now and something like that happening, which didn't happen before, now that you've explained yourself, how you feeling?
I regret that I didn't do this on Saturday. I should have told everybody everything. That's the first thing. And I think Aiden, he also told me that. He's like, you left out some serious stuff here that, you should have.
Because you did not want to.
Correct.
You weren't starting on, unlike what the people are saying, you weren't looking to start drama. You were just talking about your experience. You didn't mean it to start to this whole thing.
I also am not sometimes good at, I have to see how I'm in a little bit of a zone here. I wasn't really in the zone on Saturday, and I didn't really say it right. Like, I talked about him not helping me with the studio, but that was like the least of it. The real issue was that by him not connecting with me after I got the keys to the studio, it was more of me understanding that I was now part of the group of people that he considered like number one targets.
Where did that comment go?
Over
Did
6,000
she-
what?
Is she at 6? I don't know how to do this with buttons. I don't know where the comment went. Is she over 6,000 subs on her YouTube right now? I don't know where that comment just went, but can somebody confirm?
I
My
don't
phone
care
is
about
working.
that.
This one. I'm just another small piece to it because you were questioning people dropping off.
I was.
So did tonight put you over 6,000? Thank you for coming.
I needed to bet on myself that eventually I would feel better here. Eventually people would get what I'm about. I think eventually people will know I'm about transparency. Erin's crying. I've been through it when people don't get it. I don't know how else to say this. I really love what I do for work. I really love my investigative stuff and finding these aha moments with politicians and tax dollars and teachers that cover up shit at schools. I love finding that stuff. And then the second best part about it is giving it to everybody else. It's why I asked the people who gave me the Morrissey emails. The very first thing I asked was, can I give this to everybody? And we had to hold back a little bit, but like, that's for you. That is the second best part of it, is telling everybody what I've learned. I love doing this. She's emotional. We did it, Tommy. I need a pocket square. Get me a pocket square. I really love what I do. It's very rewarding. I think everybody in life wants to do something where they feel like they're making a difference in some way. And if it's not their job, then maybe they're doing it somewhere else or whatever. Another thing I can tell you, I do a lot of volunteer shit behind the scenes, and I don't fucking write a post about it on X. If anytime I do, I just want to let you know, it's to say I'm looking for this, because we've done some stuff with our local veterans and stuff. And then I ask people for help, and then I will share like everything that we collected so that you can see, thank you and whatever. But like, I don't know. I know a lot of people get this. You don't have to share everything that you do, a good deed or whatever. If I did, I'd be on here every day because I do that stuff all the time. 6,000 subs. Congratulations. Thank you. No, Tom did it. Tom asked me to email him. I don't know what that's about. So anyway, did I miss any more bombshells? I missed that. I had to go scream. Oh, Ash, yeah, I want to be paid on going someone else's channel. I just told you. You missed it. You're late. Are you new here? We've already talked about this. So anyway, I really love what I do. I really love it. I'm thankful to the people in my life, like my moms and Erin and people that support me. Erin is ride or die from day one. Erin lost her fucking job because of what we were doing and me, which we should do a whole show about that. Erin is so proud of her bestie.
Listen, I can't talk about this because I'm not going to cry on the camera, but
We did it, Tommy. We did it.
Like, I can't even, proud isn't even the word. It's just,
I get excited when more people get to see her the way that I know her and the way that the moms know her. Oh, I thought you were putting on your bunny ears.
I left the bunny ears at home.
Can you leave those here? I think you need them.
she's just like, I don't want to, like, not one in a million and make it like, you know, generic, but she's just a person like you're never going to meet again. And it's just so fun to be able to be in this part of it because we get to be pals every day, but then like do some of this stuff. I don't know. So I get to be a bestie like you guys, but I also get to be here and do this part. But again, like proud, obviously I'm proud of you, but that doesn't mean anything, right? I don't have to be proud of you. You have to be proud of you and you are proud of you. But I just like get very excited. The more people she, you know, I don't want to like throw you under the bus or anything, but she was down bad a little bit the other day, questioning some choices and she was just going back and forth. And so I gave her space because I know sometimes she needs to hear this stuff from other people now because, you know, she hears from me like 24/7. So it doesn't necessarily mean the same. So I knew she was going to like read her messages. She was going to go through, but I knew she always comes back around and she comes back around way more fun and like way better. And so we were talking a little bit this morning. I called her, dropped my daughter off at driving school. And I was like, you know, do you have a minute? Are you in bed? Like, are you ready to talk? Like, do you need some time? What do you want to do? And she was like, no, I'm just like laying in bed. And so then we get to like talking a little bit and I was just going over a few things.
That's not, I'll pause you right there. She wasn't going over a few things. She sent me a fucking note list of all of the things. It's an actual whole list of things.
Honestly, I asked her the other day, I was like, I feel like I want to make a fucking note. Like, you know, everybody does that, make a note on their iPhone and then like post it. I almost asked her to tweet it or put whatever you want to call it on X. But I didn't because again, I don't like to impose my thoughts and stuff on her. But the long and short of it was again, not to go back, you know, I feel the same way about Jessica and wives and working. And if I didn't have to work every day, I would not be working every day. But what made me really mad was that Jessica, she was getting so much shit. She talked about her experience with Brian for like 10 minutes, right? Because again, not to go back to it too much, but somebody asked in the chat, like, we don't know how to do this with the mics. And somebody was like, ask Brian at LTL. I'm sure he'll help you. And she was like, because we had already discussed this, right? And then somebody else asked again, and somebody else suggested it again, and somebody else suggested it again. So that's why she was like, I feel like I just need to get this out of here. I already did ask them. It didn't, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then this whole can of worms opened. And like, that was not the intention. And I actually don't remember where I was just going with that. I guess it doesn't really matter. But the long and short of it is, how I was mad. Because then, and again, Mr. Glairer, if you're still here, I'm not meaning this in a bad way. And Aiden, if you're still on here, I don't mean this in a bad way. But I was like, she got on here and she talked about this for 10 minutes because it was her experience, because people were asking why. And she got fucking shit on for so much. And then Aiden went on, and then Aiden talked about it a little bit, right? And then Aiden was talking about, you know, the interview with Nathan and like that part of it. And there were a couple of people in his chat that were still like kind of dogging on you, but everybody was like agreeing with him. And then the Glairer went on and he did this like 4-hour episode on Brian.
It was the soundtrack to my Sunday. It was just on in the background. It never ended.
Mr. Glairer, I don't know what you think that I think of you now.
Call you Mr. Glairer. Wait, stop. Why do you call him that?
I always call people like Mr. and Mrs. and Sir and Ma'am. Okay, well, fine. So the Glairer, Will. I'll call him Will.
I think you should call him. That's what I think you should do.
I have never, just so you know, even when like Jessica was on the radio, I would watch and I would listen, but never like to sit for the whole thing. That is the first YouTube show that I have watched for that many hours in a row. I was hooked and I was dying and I was laughing, but I was also mad. And it wasn't because of you and what you were saying. It's because, can you imagine if Jessica would have hopped on? Well, I mean, I guess, is that kind of what we're doing now? But not in the same sense. But if you would have done that, right? That first day you did that little 10-minute roundabout of what it was. And then the boys talked about it. And then the Glairer talked about it. And he did get some shit in his comments too. But if you would have done that first day, it was just different. And so I get a little bit mad about things like that because I know what she is. I know she doesn't lie. I know she comes with the receipts. And I'm very happy that other people are starting to see this.
I fumbled it a little. I didn't tell them. I gave them the wrong info.
But you weren't trying to be dramatic. You weren't trying to make it a thing like everybody was saying you were trying to be. It's not like you.
I don't think it was good for a Saturday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday 8:30 thing.
This is I guess, a weeknight besties kind of thing. But your intentions were not to drag him, and that's kind of just what happened. So anyway, here they are.
Proud, yes, I am proud, but it's just more fun, and it's more fun the more people that I get to like laugh with in the comments and see enjoying her. It's just so much more fun. I'm getting so many more besties, and it's just fun to see everybody else being able to like appreciate her and understand her, and it's just fun to be like a menace with like 7,800 more people.
It's fun to be a menace.
It's fun to be. Yeah, we have more people to have fun with.
This is the list that she sent me.
I love you guys. Bye.
She sent a whole list of things. Okay, so there's that. Then she sent me a meme that says "Society, be yourself," and then it says "Society, no, not like that." And then she sent me all of the lyrics to "The Man" by Taylor Swift this morning at like 7 a.m. She is single. I saw that in the comments. Erin is single. But good luck with that. All right. Will rolled up his sleeve and had your back. He did. I will say that I don't need validation. Like, I'm not seeking that. And I do believe like I have like a 24-hour rebound rate that I can bounce back from something. I thought it was great that Will went on and was kind of giving a little validation, just a short list. Yeah, no, it's like, do you want me to read it? Let's read the list and then we're done. Let's read the list. The first one was basically making sure I clarified I'm not a law tuber and that there is a law tube community, but like, I'm not sure, but I think Nurse Kim is like a nurse lawyer or advocate. I don't know, but it's something law. And then you have Melanie, you have Andrea, you have Nan. I think they're all attorneys. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a true crime galley. When I said there's room for a woman here, I guess the only thing I meant to say was like, not a lot of what I'm going to talk about is true crime stuff. You know what I mean? I guess
That's where I was going with that. Is I think a lot of your followers were expecting Karen Reed or another. Again, and I don't want to offend anybody in the comments, but I don't watch this stuff either. I don't. So the ladies,
I want to.
I know. I had a different job at the time. I had to leave the house so early, and I was there all day. And we couldn't like watch things like that. But
I don't know what happened, but I accidentally like was watching older Nurse Kim stuff. She's a TikToker, I think, that is now on YouTube. So I like watch. I mean, I want to, but I don't know. I'm sure there are some people on here. You've messaged me leads and stories and stuff, and I've never gotten back to you, and it's just terrible.
my point with that was just if you were here thinking she was going to be another person that's just going to live in the Karen Reed bubble forever and do the true crime and do the law tubing and stuff that you're not.
I'm gonna say.
Well, you did this stuff way before Karen Reed stuff happened. You covered Karen Reed when it happened, and now you're past it.
I'm going to say one thing about the Karen Reed thing. I don't know if you followed, like I put up a post and I was saying like I was feeling like I was really missing something post-trial. Like, and I was just talking about the post-trial life and that missing feeling of camaraderie and seeing everybody. And I put the post up on X and I put it up on Twitter. And it is me oversharing. It was, I'm certainly thinking that there's some other people that are feeling or thinking the same way or whatever. But what changed my mind was Kelly Reed commented on that. And she said, I'm ready to get back to like my life. And that's a family member. And I took the cue from that. And I don't think she intended it to be that way. But it was almost like, I'm not sure I have the right to feel that way when it hurts so many people. You know what I mean? Like me feeling sad and sympathetic over it, while yes, I can't control that that's how I was feeling. It was insensitive of me to say that, not thinking about like the Reed family and being like, we're fucking done with this. It's time to move on with our lives. Now, could that be the same situation of what LTL was like and talking about ownership? I don't know. I was really just trying to like speak from the heart about missing these people, and I missed seeing them. And it is a very weird thing about the friendships and things that have been built from such a weird place. It is very weird. And many times I've reflected on this and I don't know if there's anything else like it. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything about it is so unique. But I do miss some of the people that I used to see all the time and talk to, especially towards the end of the trial. I mean, these are some people that really took care of me. There's some people that I really like talking to and meeting. So yeah,
It was all
that's
good vibes. I didn't watch it, much again, and I went there one day with you, but everybody was there with great intentions, and they were there for truth, and they were there
yeah.
it was just so many people for the right reasons. So I
Kelly,
understand why
thank
miss it.
you. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, and Defense Diaries too. Yes. I miss you, Cheech. I
Can you
do
feel
want to
better?
have a thing here. And also, by the way, not going to get into it, but
Oh,
that was
here we go.
that
Yeah.
was my
we
idea.
go.
Well, first of all, I'm not even going to
We
gatekeep
discussed
that.
it in the cellar that day.
I did tell Brian, and Erin was there because she was there that day, that I wanted to do some sort of like open studio live, and it's not my idea. Howie Carr does it, and if you
Everybody does
Howie
it.
does
All
it,
the podcasters
you
do
pay.
it. Everybody does
So
it.
I don't want to pay. So just so we can be very clear with this, it wasn't a thing about money. It was about bringing people into the studio and come see my space and hang out and I don't know, let's do something. I don't know. I'm not sure. So but then he went and did it and charged people to do it. Which is great. I think that's really great. I would actually just like some of you to come hang out here with me and talk about mom things and women and just things. I don't know. There's a space for that too, by the way. There's the investigative stuff. There's all of these other things. And then also I want to talk about that stuff too. I am recognizing it is a very big deal that I said that LTL had the Enrique Delgado video, and I am seeing these comments pop up, and I am very sorry for everybody
You thought you were going to
feeling
like
so
close this up, and now you just opened up a
disappointed.
whole new
That's it. I really like talking. I like connecting with my listeners and my viewers and my supporters. I am really trying to work very hard. I'm trying to figure out my space here. I'm not sure if there is a space like what I want to do. Maybe I will make my own and I will do my own thing. I am not in competition with anybody at all. If people, there's one person I'm in competition with, and it's nothing you guys even know about, but it's not in this arena at all. And it's not even competition. It's rooted in something else. And it's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to do better every time, to increase my readership, which will increase my platform for the work that I do. And I hope that ends up making changes somewhere along the line, whether it's in a community, whether it's at the voting booth. I don't really know, but I want to just do better by myself. And I think I'm doing that. I work hard. I want to chat more. I'm sorry if I disappoint you, if it's not exactly what you want, but it's what I want and it's what I feel comfortable with. And the situation with Brian just needed to kind of be all the way out there. And I hope I cleared the air about it. Okay. I am going to the Wilbur. Yes, I would never miss it. Anything else?
So you're good? We're feeling
I'm
better?
good.
How are the besties feeling before we go? We
I
feeling
can't
good?
wait to go back and read the comments.
know,
I have
I'm
such
so excited.
FOMO that I can't laugh to everything that comes by.
I wish you guys could see. So in the StreamYard, like the page of StreamYard, there's like a box that I cannot get to go away. And it says important when streaming to a profile, viewer comments won't show up unless the stream is public on whatever. It says something there, and then there's another box on the bottom that says how it can't post comments to some destinations. So I can only see 4 comments at a time. So when you guys get going, it just I can't find them, and then I'll try to go back to find one, and then 20 minutes goes by. So I got smart today, and I put I popped it out and I put it on this one, but I still can't find them here. So I'm working on it. I'm not a producer. I'm just a friend that's here pushing buttons. We'll get there.
Okay, Vesty, you should have Turtle Boy live. I missed that. It just went by fast. I want to interview Aiden, but I want it to be in studio. So just so that you know, we have this beautiful studio space. We're not quite ready to do the in studio because those aren't going to be live, and those are going to be like produced and pushed out, and that's requiring a little bit more of a team. But we'll get there. But I think Aiden deserves an in-person. I know it's a ride down here or whatever, so I don't know, maybe we'll have to have some besties here to make it worth his while. But the in studio interviews are going to be a little bit more conversational, a little bit more personal. Jess, I get it more now. Thanks. I'm glad to read that. Also, I am not perfect. I will make mistakes. I will try to own them. But I don't know. I think this is a good start. I think I'm like it. Love you, Jess. Show is great. Thank you, Sue. Congratulations, beautiful Jess. I love your transparency. You're going places. Thanks. Also, going places. I'm fine with that as long as it's just here. Like, I don't want to go anywhere else. I do have one crazy goal. I'll share it with you. And then, God, can we get off this? I can't stop talking. Regarding video, you did nothing wrong and everything right. Thank you, Mary. My goal is to somehow get on Barstool in some way, shape, or form. I've been a stoolie for a very long time. I love Barstool. Lauren's meowing, meow. Kirk Minahan, I think I could make his show have like a new set of viewership. I also would love to get on sports. Erin's like, send the besties into Minahan. I don't know if that'll make a difference. Do you know Kirk? He just does what he wants. Those are like long-term goals for me, but I would never leave this area. I would never leave the state. I am a Massachusetts girl. My family's here. I just love, I don't know. I just like this to be a little bit better, and I could do a better show and up the technology side of it. Lindsay supported me long before all of this. She did. Thank you. I do love Kirk. I love Kirk. I love Jerry Callahan too. I mean, I was a sports radio girl. So those are my guys. And Jerry Callahan retweeting some of my work, and he had a compliment about like my investigative stuff about the migrant crisis here being like the front lines and the best in the state. And like I almost died, like fangirling over it for sure. And I really do love Kirk and his show too. I don't know, just one day. I remember one time I was saying, Erin, let's just get in the car and drive to New York and go to Barstool and just show up, but whatever. But that may change. Maybe I just feel like, I don't know. That's it. I think we're good. Besties, thanks for this. I can't wait to read the comments. If you don't think this is legit, that's okay. I'm fine with that too. I'm fine with all of it. Feeling great. Great. Okay. Bye, besties. Oh, we don't have an outro video? Just Machado. All right. Free Turtle Boy. Oh, shoot. I didn't hit end stream. Oh, you guys are all still here. Bye. Bye. Bye.